Hey, is this thing on? Great, it'll only take a second. Izumi-kun, ohio! My name is Gigi, and I'm a new first-year student. I have a couple of important announcements, so let me hijack this morning assembly from the student council, okay? The Dub Talk podcast you're about to hear contains strong language and adult situations, so listener discretion is advised. Don't blame me if your kids have to wear earmuffs for the rest of their lives, all right? Also, this podcast may contain spoilers for any anime, especially Citrus, so be aware if there's one you have yet to finish. What's up with that sour face you're making right now? The views and opinions expressed in the show are those of the individual students and do not represent Dub Talk as a whole. So if you think everything I say is the same thing that Mr. Amamiya might say, wrong. And finally, speaking of our dear friend, Mr. Amamiya, I definitely saw him making out with a student on school grounds. It was not consensual, and I heard his phone conversation with his side chick, so I'd watch his wandering hands, ladies. Oh, and this is very, very important. Never, ever, 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 ever grab for low-hanging fruit. I'm kind of a big deal around here, so you should totally listen to everything I say. And mic drop.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to Dub Talk, the podcast that is sweet and sour with critiquing English dubs. I'm the resident lime, Jamal, and with me today is the orange who loves Pope, Gigi.
What? Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Man, the Catholic Church has gotten really progressive these days.
Good God. You would.
Here we go.
Oh boy. Okay.
And interrupting us is our resident sour person at times, the lemon Noah Clue.
Sour? What are you talking about, man? I am nothing but sweet, bubbly champagne all the time. And may I just say, this orange juice is absolutely delicious.
And finally, we have our resident kumquat. It's Andrew.
Oh, my levels.
You call me a kumquat, wow. And I was going to keep it clean for this segment, but you know what? Who's ready for some non-con, cis-con action, everybody?
Alright.
Yes.
Yay.
And in case you couldn't tell by the fruit references, tonight we'll be covering the dub of Citrus.
Wait, hold on a second. I thought we were talking about Peach Girl.
Man, fuck you, Peach Girl.
Hey!
Aw.
Next time, Noah, me and you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, Citrus, the Pope Yuri shoujo trash melodrama based on the graphic novel by Sabo Uta and eliminated by Studio Passion. Passion, yeah, that's appropriate.
I thought it was Passion.
No, if it was Passion, there'd be an accent mark at the end.
Okay.
Yes, and for those new to the anime, here's the story for you. Fashionable Yuzu imagined the first day at her new school she transferred to, after her mother's remarriage a bit differently. She didn't know it'd be an ultra-strict and conservative girls' school, so instead of a sweet high school romance, she butts heads with the stern student council president May, who turns out to be a new stepsister. Oh boy.
Been there, done that.
I mean, I keep thinking about all the ways you could do this as a very wacky, like, Rob Schneider scenario, where it's like,
Leave Rob Schneider out of this, man. And
our main girl, Yuzu, is a party girl ready to take the town for itself, but then her mom gets remarried, and she has to go to this stuck-up private academy where she can't dress up the way she wants to, and her new sister is the student council president.
And she has to learn that hate and attraction are often not that far apart.
Remember, Yuzu, spaghetti is straight until it gets wet.
I can't believe you went there so early in the night. Come on, man.
Sorry, I'm a little premature sometimes.
Okay,
It happens to the best of us.
Full disclaimer: in case the disclaimer that goes before this episode wasn't the tip-off, we have no shame, we have no censors, we have no limits whatsoever. But
This is the group. I'm so happy to work with you people. I think we should do. I'm done. I'm sorry,
I
Jamal.
need a safe word.
the safe word is teddy bear.
Okay, great.
Oh, good God. Yes, so as always, we're going to be going over Funimation's cast list from A to Z, discussing our predictions, who's actually cast, and give our thoughts on the performances. So, y'all ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this.
As long as
Alright.
it doesn't make any more wet jokes, I'm good.
Oh, good God. So, as always, we're going to kick things off with the ADR director and scriptwriter. So, who'd like to start?
I was thinking in regards to ADR director, I didn't have any predictions for script. I was thinking of somebody who might be available to possibly do like a little more like raunchier and or I guess you could say more uncomfortable material that some people may or may not be used to. And I saw Jerry Jewell was already confirmed for a show before I started making my prediction, so I figured he's probably busy with something else as well as another show, since he's doing double duty. I thought, you know what? You know who hasn't done a show of her own at Funimation yet? Brittany Lauda. I thought this would have been a good show. I thought this would have been a good show to give her her first lead director spot at Funimation.
That is a really good prediction, and I'm really sad that I didn't make it.
And she's definitely got directing skills already, but you're serious she hasn't done one for Funimation yet?
Not by
she's
herself.
done-
She's been
done
pretty much
assistant roles.
assisted.
Right. Okay, so yeah, this would have been a good place to start her off with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't have any directing and writing roles on this because I kind of knew about the show's reputation going into it, but because I expected sort of a raunchier show like all the time through, I had a prediction. But then as I started watching the sub and I saw the shades of melodrama that went into it as well, I kind of crossed out predictions and rewrote ones, and by the time the first episode was over, I really didn't know who could handle the flip-flopping of emotions on this, so I just said, I don't know. I'm not even going to be able to take a guess on director or scriptwriter.
Alright.
Full disclosure, I kind of got spoiled for most of the cast and crew of this due to my Twitter feed. But so my predictions were half sort of guessing and half what I thought, like, you know, might work well. So this was before I knew that Dave Trosko wasn't going to direct anything this season, but I was like, so this show is shoujo trashy. Like he's had like the boy fan service, these shows, and he's had the comedies, but I felt like this could be like a little bit more serious for him to sink his teeth into other than All Out. So I picked Dave Trosko. I was kind of hoping, but
And Jamal, did you have a guess?
Yeah.
I'm sure he had a few.
Yeah, I had 3 for each, because the thing about this show is, because of its reputation, I figured a woman's touch is more appropriate, because the last thing you want is someone like Jerry Drew on this, and then you'd end up with another 3, and nobody wants that.
Ouch.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of a woman's touch as we go throughout the night.
God damn.
Okay, you walked into that one. Who are you kidding, man?
Yeah. Anyway, I had Kristen McGuire as both director and scriptwriter, because I pretty much loved the stuff she was involved in, and I figured, you know, if anybody could handle the material, it would be somebody who worked under Sunny Strait. Shut up, Andrew. So I placed her here.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I mean, if you can't get your vitamin C from the citrus, you might as well get it from the sunny.
The Sunny D.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We're children.
We're all going to confession after this. Rest assured.
No, I'm gonna put you in the dunk tank is what I'm gonna do. I ain't going to confession.
Yay!
Look,
dunk tag!
We're all gonna be screaming, "Oh God!" by the end of this anyway.
as for the rest of my predictions, I figured you'd want someone who's lesser known or more prominent on these kinds of subjects. So I put Alexis Tipton for director.
Mm-hmm.
But that was before I found out she was doing assistant work on a couple other shows. I also had Felicia because we haven't really seen much of her lately. I figured, this might be my ad.
I just saw something. What's Felicia's role in My Hero Academia?
Shut up!
We haven't.
Oh, god damn it!
Shut up!
Explain the joke.
She's the invisible girl. So she hasn't been seen for quite some time.
Like, I thought you were going for that, Jamal. I thought you were leading us
No,
up on
you
purpose.
moron!
We gotta make up the joke somehow.
By the way, season 3 was confirmed today. Can't wait for it in a month.
Yes.
Yes.
Where
yes.
we'll sweep all of the anime awards again next year.
Oh boy, we are not going there tonight.
No.
Where there's some taboos we won't cross.
Let's not. Let's go back to predictions. As for the rest of my script writers, I also had Caitlin Barr because, well, the last thing I saw her write, she did pretty good. That was the Code Geass OVAs.
Okay.
And I had to take a chance with Jamie Markey because,
Of course.
yeah,
Of course.
But you never know.
No. Like, that was one of the ones I potentially wrote down as scriptwriter originally, but then I crossed it out and I'm like, this is a little more varied than traditional Jamie material.
Yeah, let's not talk about the last Yuri show she did because.
So what? Which one? No, seriously, which one? Are you talking about Yurikuma Arashi?
I'm talking about Dragon Maid.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, as for who we actually have, somehow both these were long shots that got them right because the ADR directors, Kristen McGuire, and who you've seen in other works as she's only directed one other project that's game, but she has done assistant work doing L Life and Tsukigakure. She is mainly known as a scriptwriter, however, doing Tagashi Kashi, Kankole, Love Life Sunshine, and half of the webulence that is Dance with Devils.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's no webulence in this show tonight, as script is being handled by Caitlin Barr,
Yay!
who has written out other stuff as I mentioned, the Code Geass OVAs, Fate Collide Liner, Monster Musume, School Life, and because this episode just recently came out, Haikyuu.
Yeah. Get it, girl.
She's done some Sentai stuff I actually quite enjoy. All right.
Yes.
Get it, girl.
So, yeah, get it, girl. Speaking of get it, girl, Gigi, what are your thoughts on directing and script writing?
So I really enjoy Kristen McGuire as a director. She actually won my Dubby this past year for best simuldub for gamers because I thought her direction of it was fabulous. And honestly, here, I think she's doing an amazing job again. She did a great job with the casting, especially May, who I will talk about later. I feel like she created a tone for this show that was a little more serious and a little less soapy. And that's different from the Japanese, I think. But honestly, I feel like the tonal shift is much appreciated because maybe people will start to take this show a little more seriously.
Yeah.
I think this anime has a lot of layers and a lot of undertones, a lot of overtones to deal with. She's doing a great job. And just, I don't know exactly what she's doing because I haven't had a chance to watch any of her Unlocked episodes. But whatever coaching she's giving the actors to perform through scenes that they may or may not find uncomfortable, whatever it is, it's coming through in the acting, and she's doing a really great job with it. As for my girl Caitlin, I love Yuzu's dialogue. Oh my god, do I love Yuzu's dialogue.
It's great.
It stays true to the Japanese, but it gives it an English spin. She's so cute and unique, and I love it when she calls Sho daddy. It's so cute. We'll talk more
She's
about
actually
that
being
later.
sincere about saying daddy,
I
and she's
know
not.
she is. I know she is.
Yeah.
I love it all around. A++++, 2 thumbs up.
No,
I kind of respect that the show actually uses the term daddy in the actual context.
Not in the context that I would use it. Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say.
Great.
Gigi, if you were cast in the show, do you think you could pull off Yuzu's lines without like the overtones to it?
No, absolutely not. Hello, we know who the daddy is here.
Yeah, let's...
We'll
I-
get
it's
to
Talk
him.
about it yet.
He'll get.
Well,
It's more about mommies anyway when it comes to Citrus, so, you know.
I know. I gotta take the few boys. Look, I'm in another show with barely any boys in it, guys.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank
Beer
you.
Branching out and doing stuff with other girls. Wait, that can't be right.
oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
Oddly enough, that fits the theme of tonight's show.
Okay, that one was actually unintentional. I'm sorry. Okay. I think if you don't have anything else more to add to that, I could give my thoughts if you want.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I sat on finishing Gamers for a while before finally getting around to watching it in full, and I am so glad I did because that is one of the funniest, most outrageous things ever. It is a frustrating romance show, but it is an outrageous, outlandish comedy series, and God bless every single performance on that show. And that's when I realized, man, Kristen, that's her first show. She's going places, and you know what? She does a really good job with Citrus too. I'm going to be frank, I was not a big fan of the show like 2 episodes in, especially in the sub. I was not. I was like mixed on it. I was very like, I don't know, man. But honestly, I think the English, as well as like the direction, delivery, and performance of some of these actors in English made me more endeared to some of these characters than I think I was in Japanese. I think the script is really good, really interesting. Like I said, it gives a lot of interesting lines to some of these characters that makes them very endearing, but very much like I could hear people saying this to their friends or thinking this things, which I'm not going to talk about some of these now because I kind of want to save them for their sections, but I will say that the delivery of those lines and the writing on those lines both complement each other very well, and I'm pleasantly surprised with the direction and the writing on this show. Well done, the both of you.
Very good.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I think what Kristen's saying is she manages to capture not only the sincerity of the characters, but manages to play well to their strengths. And especially works hand in hand with the writing, which I realize with the writing, it's like the two of them kind of have similar styles if you think about it. Whereas when we transition to the writing, Caitlin manages to play up the aspects very well of the characters. I mean, this is a show with LGBT themes, and she manages to capture that very well because, as I found out the other day, she herself is pansexual, and believe it or not, we have a pansexual character represented in this show, which we'll get to later. So, going off on her own experiences, she manages to make everything sound as noble as she could possibly can without it being off-putting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so I guess it's like a bit of... Alright, yeah, that must be interesting to
Yeah.
work with. Okay.
Like I said, it goes hand in hand with the directing, to which, thank God, Kristen manages to keep it noble, because in the Japanese it comes off more like kind of gallish if you think about it, which I'll talk about that later on, but...
Wait, what do you mean comes off as gallish?
I mean, the archetype, you're talking about like the gal girl, like the my first girlfriend is a gal stereotype. Yeah, that's
Okay.
definitely present in the sub itself, but yeah, I'll agree with you, Jamal, in that there wasn't, if you didn't know about that archetype going into the show and you just watched the English version, you wouldn't get that Valley Girlish vibe off of the voice acting at all.
You would just assume she's just like super trendy and just like wants to look hot as shit.
Right.
I love Yuzu.
Yes, and she loves you
We'll
too.
get more into our undying love for Yuzu later, but first we should move on.
Noah.
So, this I'm coming at this from someone who loves to find the deeper themes in shows. So, kind of like Andrew, I wasn't entirely sold on the show from episode 1. I was going into it for the shock value more than anything else. Like, I think I said on Twitter, yeah, episode 1's good, but where's the come into my van, my windowless van full of candy kind of smut? Like, I was looking for, like, full-on
Oh, good God.
anti-morality kind of content.
You mean you didn't get that from the teacher?
No, that was, I mean, it was unlikable, yes, but it wasn't smutty, it was just slimy. There's a
It
difference.
was so lewd.
Yeah,
Like,
there-
that kiss was
Yeah.
so lewd. I loved
Right.
it.
So going into the English then, I was really impressed that they conveyed, both in directing and writing, a lot of themes that may have been lost, even if it was present in the sub, it may have been lost just because you're so busy focusing on the content that you may miss some of the undertones. Like, we'll probably talk about this more when we get some of the characters, but there's this sense that the school that the characters go to are from rich families that have already kind of auctioned off their daughters to billionaires and business tycoons and people who are going to give them a good life. So this is the only time in their life where they can enjoy any kind of freedom as children. And that would have come across as really unbelievable if Kristen didn't direct these characters to play it more as a drama than a comedy. And you really get that sense from also the writing. Like, there's plenty of lines in the writing that were less filthy, it felt like, in the English. Like, they take away some of the more vulgar lines and make them, like, a little cutesier. So, the overall package was much more accessible to an English speaker, and definitely, if you're okay with some melodramatic cheese in your content, then this will suit you really, really well. And I couldn't expect a better way to translate what the characters are going through, the contrasts and loves, and the slight silliness that creeps into it, better than the way that Kristen and Caitlin adapted it.
It's a good thought to have. So, are we ready to move on?
Alright.
Alright, let's get into our first set of characters. And our first group is pretty much the first two groups of school staff is entirely. First up, we have Minako Fuji, who's a teacher of Aihara Academy, feared by the students for confiscating their items and just pretty much, let's just say she kind of runs her mouth at times, talking about being a prim and proper woman to Yuzu.
You're talking,
and then,
that idea of this is a school full of rich debutante type girls, that kind of fits into her character. Like, you need to grow up to be a proper young woman.
You left your top button unbuttoned, you filthy harlot!
Yes, and we have Kayo Maruta, one of the student council vice presidents, glasses-wearing character who's kind of meek and timid and not really all there, to be honest.
She's the one that doesn't matter, basically.
Yeah, so... And because I'm guessing she doesn't matter, I'm guessing none of y'all had predictions, am I right?
Nope.
I have
You're
predictions
wrong.
for none of these characters.
Well, you are not entirely right, Jamal. Some of us may not have had predictions, but I had a couple predictions.
So did I.
Cool. For Minako, I was thinking older women voice actors who have been in stuff recently. And speaking of My Hero Academia, I thought a little bit about Recovery Girl, and I put Julie Erickson as that role there.
Cool.
Didn't think that she was going to show up too much in the show, but it was the first voice that popped in my head. So I was like, jot this down so I'm not don't have any predictions for the Dub Talk episode. But I did have a more thought-out thought process for Kayo, though, because one of the first times that I saw Leah Clark in a role was in the show Princess Jellyfish, where she plays this also glasses-wearing, timid, long-haired... well, she was actually more like an old woman fanatic in that show.
Yeah.
Don't
I think old man fanatic, if anything.
They're old man. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wait, does she play the ones that really likes her dolls?
No.
She's the one.
She's the tall one with glasses. That.
Oh, she's the one that straight up, like, has a grandpa kink. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I thought that Leah does everything. Like, I've said this before, Leah can do anything, but I know that she can also play glasses, shy, quiet character who you don't want to mess with, so I was like, Leah Clark for Kayo, 2017.
Oh god, she's gonna play Toga. That's gonna be fun.
Anyway, as for me, I too went with Recovery Girl, but I went with from the second season, and that was Lucy Christian.
Alright, yeah.
Forgot about that cast change.
Yeah, because Truly kind of moved away, to be honest. I also copped out and went with older women. I went with Pam Doherty and Linda Leonard.
Pam Hope?
Pam is the grandma in Summer Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would
Who was the other one?
Who was the other voice actress you picked, Jamal?
Linda Leonard.
Linda who?
I forget who she plays.
Have any of you seen The Royal Tudor?
I have not.
Oh, she's grandma.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, as for Kaio, I went with Britt April, Elizabeth Maxwell, and Megan Shipman. Because
I was thinking. Oh, anime Gataries. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Now, did you make that prediction before you knew that Kaio wouldn't be a very important character in the show?
I made this prediction based off the. I want to say the Seiyu cast because I thought they were gonna have some kind of point relevance in this show. That, I mean, for God's sake, there's a character later on who didn't even show up till episode 6, and they gave her a Seiyu, not even before the show started.
You plan to record in advance, basically. That's how you get this information, and that's how we do our jobs: is we compare and contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You plan things, but plans change, and it turns out we were both dead wrong. Because Minako is voiced by Cynthia Kranz, who you see in other roles such as Emi Honda from Barakamon, Bellamy from One Piece. Speaking of Princess Jellyfish, she's Chieko. She's the one obsessed with the dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mitsuki Nohara from Shin-chan, Botan from Yu Yu Hakusho, and of course, Chi-Chi from the Dragon Ball franchise.
I was wondering if you were going to. Okay, good.
Come on, like I wouldn't. Come on. As for Kaio, she's voiced by Natalie Hoover, who you see as Arisa from Akiba's Trip, Ai Asagaya from Anime Gataries, Sonia Nevermind from the Danganronpa franchise, and Lily from Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Alright, so I'm straight up glad that Chi-Chi is... She's just Chi-Chi, but with like... She's Chi-Chi, but if she decided I'm gonna have stupid hair of my own to spite my stupid-haired children and husband. Her hair's so stupid! But god damn it, like... This basically is Chi-Chi in the grounds that this is like the world's biggest nag, but taking it to like a much more prim, improper fashion. Like, she's like the tutor from Courage the Cowardly Dog that stresses about you being perfect. That's the first thing that came to my mind. And as for... Oh my god, I forgot her name.
Minako.
No, not her. The other one.
Oh, Kaio.
Kaio. Her character is adorable and precious, and I think Natalie does a good job making her sound meek and adorable and shy and stuff, but that's kind of what she's got going for her. She's just trying to tell this, like... She's just trying to do her job, basically. Granted, so is Minako, but Minako's much more of an aged old bag who... definitely hasn't gotten any in at least 10 or so years.
She's definitely one of those tenured professors.
Mm. But yeah, no, I think Cynthia and Natalie both did a good job.
Alright, Gigi, would you like to go next?
Minako. Don't really remember her. I'm sure it was fine. I mean, I remember her scene, but I watched episode 1, like, 3 times so long ago that I can't remember anything to specifically point out about it. Same goes with Kaio. I just remember feeling like the character was super straight-laced, and that she was very, like, scared, but at the same time she knew what her point was that she had to get across, and I feel like it was portrayed very well. So that's really all I have to say about them. Here's my mic drop. TM Yuzu.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job for what the characters were given. We don't see any more of them. How about you, Noah?
Yeah, just keeping it short and sweet here. Cynthia, you did a good job. You got a good, silly, fussy British accent. I'm actually very sorry that we don't hear more of her because I would have liked like a running roll of like we gotta go back to Mineko's office every time we break the rules. Which, if you've seen the show, they break the rules a whole lot. But what you gonna do?
Yeah.
The nerve! You brought in manga!
I'm just imagining like she gets so tired, like she could get like so tired of seeing them after a while that she's like, it's a revolving door of like, all right, here, like say 5 Hail Marys, put $5 in the collection bin, and be on your way.
Hail Mary.
And as for Natalie, yeah, she doesn't really get a whole lot to do, and that's fine. There's archetypes of English speakers, like this quiet, stoic, shy girl. She doesn't do it wrong. She like it's a believable shy high school girl. That's all you ask for. Another character who I kind of wish that we could hear more of, but again, what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you ready to move on?
Yes.
Alright, so we got the last couple members of the school staff. We have Chairman Ihara and the teacher, Mr. Amamiya.
That bastard!
Man,
Mr.
Oh.
the chairman is so irrelevant. He doesn't even have a name on Mal. His name is just May's grandfather.
No.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, you know, he's like Timmy Turner's parents and the Fairly Odd Parents. You know, he doesn't need a role other than just being the grandfather.
I'm respecting your boundaries by not asking to come in, but I'm using my role as a parent to come in anyway.
I want to take the audio now from that episode and put it into the Citrus episode where he walks in on May and Yuzu.
Isn't that basically what happens?
It is.
Yeah. Anyway,
We need Andrew. We need to make an AMV Hell episode after this now.
God damn it.
Sorry.
All right.
Go on, Jamal.
if you're gonna make an AMVs, can you do one to this show and just play it to Katy Perry's "I Kissed a Girl"?
Oh no, that's too obvious.
Yeah, if someone
That's too obvious.
hasn't done that already, I will be very surprised.
You gotta do something a lot more like hardcore and metal. Like, I don't know.
We could. Yeah, nothing's coming to mind right now, but we'll think of something later. Anyways,
Cherry pie.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. So Chairman Ihara, this Miyazaki-looking motherfuckers are ruthless and unforgiving, man. Pretty much doesn't tolerate any form of insubordination. Is kind of controlling too.
yeah.
And he's pretty much unaware of his new family situation, which leads to Yuzu getting expelled from school when she stands up for May. Was it stands up for or stands up against May?
Well, she kind of stands up for herself.
She stands up for herself against May's actions. And then we have Mr. Amamiya.
That bastard!
Say.
Amamiya.
Say.
Amamiya. Here
Fuck
we
boy
go.
with a capital Uck.
Amamiya.
Give this
Here
man
we
a
go
nice
again.
red hot poker up the ass.
Considering the actor, I know what headshot I want to use, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Amamiya. Here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
My, how could you not resist her, man? Like,
How dare you bring Abba into this, you slut?
so pretty much, long story short, he's engaged to May. At the same time, cheating on her as well, just trying to rob her family blind.
I'm not saying he's a gold digger. But no,
But
wait, no, what? Yes, I am. That bastard.
Yeah, he's a gold digger, alright.
Okay, sit down, Kanye's. I'm gonna let you finish.
That's not
Oh,
Kanye,
good
that's CeeLo. God damn it.
Gold
no.
digger.
No,
is
that's Kanye!
Wait, hang on.
Motherfucker.
Get down.
You come
your
on
balls.
to this, the
Kanye.
day of my daughter's wedding.
Wait,
Come
hang
to this,
on.
And you tell me that's a fucking CeeLo song. I would have your head up a pike.
Hang on.
Back
Wait,
it up,
no,
back it up,
I'm
back
thinking.
it up, back it
Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm thinking of the song where it's like. If I'm thinking of "Forget You," I'm thinking of "Forget You" is the song I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
That's
you're
why I
thinking
thought-
of fuck
Oh
you.
my
That's what
God.
you're thinking of.
Becky, look
That's
at
what
her
I
butt.
thought.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
we
you're
have
wrong.
You
yeah,
are.
so. Yeah,
All you need to know about Amayaya is that he made that bitch famous.
Okay, let's stop trying to. No. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Do we have predictions for these two?
I do not.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we let Gigi go first?
We should. So let me get it out of my system. Because you know who was at Funimation, like, the very first week Simuldubs were recorded?
Oh, God, no.
You know who was up there?
Who?
Tell me you didn't.
Blake Shepard. And on my Twitter, when I first saw this in sub, I said, if Blake Shepard does not play this slutty teacher, I'm gonna riot. And then he tweeted and he was like, guess who's going to Dallas? And I was like, no. Are all my dreams suddenly coming true? Why would he come up for 3 lines? But I'll take it.
Just for you, Gigi.
Obviously, that was my prediction. I'm going to stick by it.
Is that your only prediction?
That's the only one that matters.
Alright, Andrew has done. Noah, how about you?
I wasn't quite as on the Blake train as Gigi was, but I had a voice in mind for Mr. Bastard Male Teacher, and that was Alejandro Saab, mostly because...
No!
Yeah, now, I like the man. I like the man a lot. I think he's got great comedic timing, but
No!
from his voice in My First Girlfriend is a Gal, I know that he can also play kind of creepy male voice also. I just slotted him into that role, especially because, like you said, Gigi, there aren't a whole lot of male roles in the show, and I like getting Alejandro in any role that I can, so that was my guess.
You sound like me, but no. Not my sweet, innocent little cinnamon roll.
Well, okay, and on top of that, okay, also for Chairman, I saw his character design, and I was watching it in dub at this point, because I think he shows up in episode 3, so really quickly, the name that came to mind was John Swasey, before I heard the English voice come out. So that was my prediction already before, knowing what he actually sounded like. John Swasey.
Okay. Forgive me, Gigi. I also went with Alejandro Saab for the teacher. I was playing the...
bastardizing my poor, sweet, innocent, keggy film. I'm trying not to laugh.
I got orange juice up my nose. Oh, God.
The man leads in the My First Girlfriend is a Gal dub, and you're still thinking he's an innocent little cinnamon roll?
I'm totally kidding.
But you met him at Anime Fest. You should know better.
I know.
Dude, that man last year.
The man is awesome.
He is good.
He
is.
Fly.
I'm just saying that I wouldn't peg him as innocent cinnamon roll. I would say him as like hot damn cinnamon roll.
Hot damn cinnamon roll. Okay, Alejandro, your new name is Hot Damn Cinnamon Roll. Number 6.
Well, this is gonna be a fun time tonight.
I pity
As
whoever
I
has to
get
edit
blocked
this.
on Twitter in 3, 2, 1.
No! Damn.
All right.
We gotta change our names and get out of town.
Anyway, kind of played the Bishonen card a little. For Amamiya, I had Alejandro. I also had Hao Wang, of all things.
Okay.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, and I had Oscar Seung. If you ever seen Yuri on Ice, he's the Korean skater.
Cool.
I know him mainly for another podcast, but that's not the point. And for the chairman, I went old man. And just had Mark Stoddard, Bruce Elliott, and Jeremy Schwartz.
Okay.
Yeah,
those are all pretty good staples of old man voices for the Funimation.
But who voices these people for real, though?
Yeah, so Chairman Aihara is voiced by Charlie Campbell, who you see in other roles as Wakaba in Fairy Tail, Gran Torino in My Hero Academia, Toshio Katsuki in Yuri on Ice, and Old Man Owl in the Sonic the Hedgehog OVA.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh yeah. This is a real old OVA that was done by ADV Films.
Oh my god, that was him?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There was an OVA?
Yeah, no, it's actually like kind of cool and weird, but I did not know he was in that. I learned a new thing today. And thank you, Jamal.
Why would you
Yes, you're welcome.
Why would you make a...
And as for Amamiya, he's voiced by Dave Trosko, who you see.
So not Blake Shepard?
No,
Yes.
not Blake Shepard.
My dreams are crushed.
No, no.
Yeah.
Don't make Dave Trosko's new name not Blake Shepard.
He's safe.
That's good.
Okay, other roles you see David is he's Satoshi Yoshida in All Out, Ghost Adler in Black Clover, he's the current voice of President Mike in My Hero Academia, Saku Hagita in Orange, Imadori in School Rumble, and Gurin Ichinose in Seraph of the End.
Oh, he was in school.
I'm saying this.
School Rumble.
Yeah,
He was Imadori. He was the blonde-haired kid who was. He was also a skeeve bag in that show too. I hate that guy.
yeah.
I'm surprised. I didn't know Dave has been with Funimation that long. I really need to keep up on these.
Oh yeah.
That's
So
the
it's
interesting thing about simuldubs is realizing this dude who you're like, I've never heard of that name before. He's been in the background for like 15 years. What the shit?
Yeah.
So yeah, it gives a chance for local talent you never thought would shine to shine.
Indeed.
So that's cool. Also, speaking of scumbags, the only thing that deserves to fuck Gurin Ichinose is life itself.
And segueing into that, I know what headshot I want to use for Dave, because the only thing that Amamiya deserves is a pineapple right up his ass for what he did to me.
Oh, lordy. So,
I'm sorry, I don't like Amamiya.
I have a pen.
Wow,
I have
you're
a
telling me that the teacher who forces himself on students and then uses their feelings and sexual attraction to try and steal from them and their family to support his side hoe on the side? I can't believe he's an unlikable character.
No kidding.
Shocking.
I'm sure no one in this cast likes that kind of guy at all. Right?
He's my best boy.
Fucking do
Of
it.
course, of course.
Honest.
GG, come to the good side. We hashtag nice guys are, we're worth it too.
Oh my god. Noah, the way you say that, you might as well just grow your neck beard out right now. Christ almighty. I say that as I look at my own neck, it's like, boy, I really need a shave.
No, let it grow out for finals. It'll be like a mark of pride.
Ew.
All right, let it grow.
Okay.
Let it go. Jamal, what do you think of the boys?
Well, as much as I hate Amamiya, I think Dave Trosko did a very solid job. I was actually kind of surprised to hear him here. But I think it's kind of an eye for an eye, Kristen casting him in this role. Because I remember he casted her as a fan service character in Anime Gatories, and that role is still perplexing, but I think, one good turn deserves another. Yeah!
She was the most well-endowed.
What?
Wait, which character?
She's the track girl. I don't think she's a fan service character. What do you
No, but the show loves to play her off as a fan service character.
Right, that's what I meant.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. I don't care for anime gatories that much, but that's aside the point. All right.
I still have thoughts about that review.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of salt.
Yes, Chairman Ihara. I thought Charlie Campbell did a very good job. I mean, it wasn't who I expected to be honest, because I don't hear Charlie Campbell much in roles. But for what it's worth, he did a very solid job, and he really had some conviction, especially when it came to expelling Yuzu.
Okay. All right. I'll go next. Dave Trosko is a really convincing fuckboy teacher, and I think that's commendable. He sounds very cool and sexy, but also is a bit of a commanding prick who doesn't understand boundaries and is definitely a bit of a gold digger on the side. I thought the scene where he gets owned hard by Yuzu was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As for Chairman Ihara, aka who needs a name when all you're going to do is get a heart attack and be a force of conflict, I will say this though. I think Charlie does sound really convincing as the chairman. I think he's got he's got a much lower range than I think I was expecting. Much more gruff and assertive and hard, hard-laced or hard-assed, whatever. But he's very good at the part, and then he basically kicks her out, and then she decides, you know what? You stop my heart attack? Sure. You can bang my granddaughter all you want. And then, yeah, like, that's kind of what happens, because he was just going to expel her, then he's sort of dying on the floor. But yeah, I think he does sound really commanding and really good. Also, before I move on, I find it fascinating, the general fascinating notion that the school, to essentially create the boundary of proper, like, proper educated young ladies, to be prim and proper, basically make them conform to what is proper society, and make them become, like, desirable objects for like, more desirable men or powerful men, is in fact a male himself. I find that fascinating, the notion that this academy for, like, young girls or young teenage girls at the charge of essentially, like, changing and forming their character is a male figure.
Well,
I don't know. There's some societal intrigue there.
Definitely. I mean, can you imagine the expectation of a woman who is not only rich and powerful enough to head a school like this, but would also employ only female teachers for this whole thing? Like, there's definitely a boys' club aspect to you can't crack the glass ceiling to run your own school like this.
I think it's an interesting concept, as well as, like, the notion that literally everybody's like, you know what, I kind of can't do anything else. That girl next to me, I can grind against that until I get married, sure. But that being said, Dave Trosko, Charlie Campbell, I think they're both good in the roles they had, but they kind of become irrelevant after, like, episode 3.
And thank goodness for one of them.
Alright.
Yeah.
Hey, so we ready to move on?
No.
You
go ahead, Noah, because I have to finish it off.
Yes, you do. I was gonna say you need to end this. So okay, before we get to Gigi's, before we get to fun, happy, sexy male fun time with Gigi, I just want to say that
In the Yuri show.
in the Yuri show. That's why we brought you here, Gigi.
Yep.
We have to pass the Bechdel test. But as for Charlie, he was the more interesting of these two in terms of his acting. Like Andrew said, I specifically wrote the word gruff to describe him, and I also wrote that he was short of breath. It's not a kind of old man voice that I normally hear, and I really dislike it when a character is obviously is unconvincing in the age that they're trying to portray, if they're young or old. And this one, it was believably older, like a kind of guy who feels like has weathered life quite a bit, has like probably taken out his, what's it called, his 401k retirement savings at this point. So yeah, for the few episodes that we got him in, he portrays that old school, this is a man's world and this is how we behave and you listen to my rules, but then after he has his heart attack, all right, fine. You can sleep with my granddaughter. Softness afterwards, like that was convincing. And as for Dave Trosko, it was okay. It was the most average sounding of all the roles that we're going to talk about. It was very under the radar, which I think is probably a good thing, because if he came off as, I'm just too sexy for my students, let me rip open my shirt and reveal my rippling biceps kind of voice, that wouldn't have fit his character at all. So I'm glad that Dave gave him a more normal sounding voice. And now,
ironically enough, the more notable thing about this character is what he doesn't say.
It is. It's just you would not suspect a guy like this, and that's the whole problem, is that he can play under the radar, so you don't suspect that he's got a girlfriend on the side while he's banging your 16-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah, it's the one you expect the least, so.
So many issues. So for my good friend, the chairman, I thought he was very, very Gramps. All right. I also kind of felt that his tone was almost Shakespearean, which gives another level to the pretentious rich old guy character, which I really liked. I kind of like that. Sorry to bring out the P word. And then for best boy, Sensei.
Oh my god.
Amamiya.
Honestly, after Gosick, I'm not even surprised anymore.
I think you should be surprised as who's not best boy. Really. But
Yeah, none of us.
Ouch.
Oh.
We'll get to that.
Because you're not evil. See.
All right.
So you're
please
good
continue.
boys.
So you're saying that Sneebs is best boy.
Okay, let us stop right now.
So
Okay.
It's always
Dave
the Canadians.
Trosko is not as creepy as he could have been, and that's probably a good thing. Like, if you get to Blake Shepard levels of sexy creep, then you're like going into a whole nother stratosphere. But he's douchey enough so that we know that this guy is not a good boy. You are not a good boy, Amamiya. I am pointing my finger at you, even though you can't see me. AKA,
Which finger?
Oh.
Fuck you.
So,
AKA, I
comparing
thought it
back
was
to,
really great.
are you in the Amamiya fangirl club then?
I'm still in the Amamiya fangirl club, even though he's a douchebag, but he's not as douchey as he could have been. Like, and that's honestly a good thing because, hello, he's a teacher at this school and should try to maintain some levels of professionalism, at least if he wants to keep his lie intact. So, trust Amamiya, trust Dave Trosko. You did a good job.
Yes.
And,
yes.
and if Yuzu hadn't caught that lewd ass kiss, which is what drew me into the anime in the first place, I was like, oh, this is how we're doing this. So yes,
Well,
A+.
That brings up an interesting element because we're meant to believe that Yuzu's the first person who's ever caught them kissing on campus. That was a lot of C's. There's no way that happened. Like, I kind of get the sense that other people may have caught them before, but no one's talking about it because they just kind of accept it as is, which is another thing that Yuzu kind of reveals in the bullshit culture that they're in, which is the whole purpose of her being here is, try to break up the everyone thinks this is normal, and she's like, no, this is screwed up. How are you all not seeing this?
Because Yuzu is best girl, and Yuzu knows what's up.
She is. And this is this is a reason why I really, really am glad that we get to cover this show, and why we get to talk about more characters. Jamal, can we talk about some more characters?
Yes, we can, as a matter of fact. We're going to move on to the Aihara family. Because right now we're going to... What's up?
I was going to say, I genuinely did not think this dad existed. I genuinely did not think he was real. Because the setup is straight up, hey, sweetie, I married a new man, we're in a new house, you're in a new school, you got a new sister who may or may not want to grind against your legs. I'm sorry, you can't meet your daddy, he's going overseas for business. I'm like, don't you dare do that! And then he's actually a character. It's like, oh, thank you!
Quotes.
Oh,
I thought he was going to be an evil dilf.
Yes, so did I, and we can talk about that. Wait, but what are these characters' names, Jamal?
Yes, we have the parents Yume and Sho Aihara. Yume Aihara is Yuzu's mom. A bit of an enabler. Tries to provide for her family best she can. And works as a construction worker.
She's a construction worker. That
Really?
genuinely surprised me in episode
Yeah.
6.
Which kind of makes sense if you see her in episode 1, because she got her sleeves rolled back and got the moving gloves on.
I missed that.
Just
So
shit.
she could hold her own.
Yeah.
Girl
Mom.
can lift, I respect that.
Yes. And speaking of holding their own, we have Sho Aihara, who's May's dad. A former teacher at the academy, was ruled to be the previous successor until he up and left one day. Nobody knows why he went down the path he did. All we know is that he loves May, he just has a weird way of showing it.
It's actually pretty easy to figure out why he would do what he did, because he's basically stuck in what is essentially a strict school, essentially forcing like rich people and rich kids to basically be molded to conform and kind of be stuck in this cog of society. And it sounded like he genuinely had this altruistic like realization that why should I be forcing kids to do things they shouldn't want to do when instead I could be helping kids around the world who are less fortunate to help them learn knowledge and make their own path in life instead of being forced down a path we force them to take.
Or to put it in the words of the greatest comedy music group of all time. He threw it on the ground. He ain't gonna be a part of your system.
Oh,
That joke's gonna go way over my head.
Oh.
Lonely Islands, Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Threw it on the ground is the song.
Oh, I didn't hear of it, that's why. I've heard of Lonely Island. Anyway, let's move on to predictions. Do we have any for these lovely parrots?
I just want to go.
Did not have any. I did not have any for the dad because I straight up thought he wasn't real. I have predictions for Mom. I genuinely didn't think he was going to be real.
Not real. You're not my real dad.
I'm surprised that line didn't.
I broke Noah. My work is done.
Go get another one out of the closet.
Don't tell me not to bang my sister. You're not my real dad.
Oh, good God.
We're so going to hell. Okay.
We're having a genuine discussion, and then it comes down to...
Damn it. All of you.
Okay,
You're not my real dad. Okay.
Okay, I had actual predictions for Mama Yuzu, as I called her. I had 3 predictions. I had Christian McGuire because she plays Rin. She plays Rin from New Game, and that's very like motherly, like authoritative character. And I also thought of her better half, Ko, in the form of Michelle Rojas, who's also like older sounding, but could definitely be a very like mom or big sister type character. Definitely. And then I also thought somebody who's also impressed me lately as a older woman who's got a lot of character and intrigue to her, and that was Terry Doty.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a wide range of voice actors.
I thought a lot. I thought this woman's probably going to be in this house alone for a long time. I deserve to give her some thought.
Okay. Who else wants to go next?
That's cool because I also thought Terry Doty would be a good, cool mom. I was like, she's a cool mom. I was like, who's a cool lady? And I was like, I just watched MMO Junkie. Terry Doty. We like you. You're the cool mom. Check. And then...
Are you saying you want she a cool mom in the show, or you want her to be your cool mom?
No, she's a cool mom in the show.
Okay, because I can
hopefully.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
I mean, if we're picking out new parents here from the Funimation stable for ourselves...
Let's not.
I'm going to take a pass on that one because, you know, for the dad, I had to pick my low-hanging fruit. Should play all the evil DILF dads ever. His name is David Wall.
Oh my God.
I don't need to explain myself here, do I? Also, after the end of episode 5 with that little, like, weird smirky thing, I really thought he was going to be the evil DILF. Because I was like, ooh, he's going to be bad somehow. So, David Wall, get in there.
Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
Chi-Chi, you should never play with your dad's low-hanging fruit.
What if he's my daddy, though?
Oh my God.
I hate you.
I couldn't even get it out.
So that's why they call the show Citrus. We never do find out why.
Oh my God.
Oh my
God damn
God.
it. Why does this only happen on the Gigi and the Too Many Boys episodes?
Gigi. I thought you knew by now. You can never have too many boys.
It's true.
Oh, let's move on, please.
Okay. Really quickly, I didn't have a guess for show, not because I didn't think he existed, but because I didn't know how they're going to portray him. Like, from the build-up, from the episodes and episodes of May describing her relationship with her dad and the kind of environment she was in, being the granddaughter of a chairman of this preppy school, I thought that he was going to have he was going to be a dick kind of character, but I didn't make a prediction for it because I didn't get to hear him in Japanese. But I did have one for Ume, and that was not one of the mom characters that any of you guys picked yet, but I picked the best big sister character in all of anime, Caitlin Glass. who is
I can see
That's
it.
a good
yeah.
choice.
best big sister in Hyoka. I want her as my big sister. Why can't I have that?
Mm.
So,
Okay. Jamal?
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to recover.
well, if I could segue here, Jamal.
Yes. I had 2 predictions for each. For Yume, I went with Felicia Angel and Madeline Morris because I want somebody who had a sweeter tone to her voice but could still play the adult character very well.
Okay.
Oh, my throat hurts.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Do you know how much Please Stand By music I'm gonna have to put in this episode? As for the dad, it's funny I'm talking to you, Gigi, because I pulled the Gigi card, and
What is the GG card?
Did you
I
grab
went
his
with-
low-hanging fruit too? I'm gonna get arrested by the fun police.
oh my
We're
god!
gonna have to do the rest of this episode in sign language if we keep this up. Somebody get this man some water!
Death by David Wald. That's the way to go.
Roll the standby music.
As I was saying,
Oh, it
yes,
hurts. It hurts so much.
I played the Gigi card, which is I picked 2 of her husbandos. I went with Ian Sinclair's one. Because, I figured it'd be showing a character like him. Of course, it's gotta be Ian. Which is funny, because his Seiyu is Koi White MMO Junkie. Yes. And to answer your question, Gigi, yes, I went with the low-hanging fruit.
The way to go.
Stop saying low-hanging fruit. Fuck.
Did you see down there?
No.
This podcast is either going to add or remove 5 years from our lives.
Just think of all the minutes you can cut out.
I was done.
Hi, Kristen. You're probably watching this right now.
Kristen,
I am so
we love
sorry
you.
for this.
we love you. Thank you. Oh, my sides hurt.
You do very good work, Kristen. Look what you made us very happy, otaku.
This should just go at the end. Fuck.
Should just cut this whole part out. Put it at the end.
Let's get
Okay, let's take a okay, take a moment to breathe. Let's all take a moment to breathe. I need a moment to breathe.
Anyway, as for who plays these parents, Yume Aihara is voiced by Terry Doty, and Sho Aihara is voiced by David Wald.
Nice.
Almost.
I can hear the shrieks coming from Chicago right now.
I knew that was gonna happen, and I still couldn't avoid it.
Now tell us, Jamal. Who have these lovely people played in the past?
Yes, Terry Doty is voiced Kirara Hazama from Assassination Classroom, Virgo from Fairy Tail, Kyoko Machi from Interviews with Monster Girls, Alice Kiriki from Okami-san and Her 7 Companions, and of course, Moriko Morioka from Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
I forgot she was in it, Okami-san. Huh.
Yeah, as for David Wald, oh my god, what is wrong with me? As for David Wald, he voices, of course, the Fun Police, Reiji Sakamaki from Diabolic Lovers.
Yeah.
He's got you from Fairy Tail.
Yeah, best boy.
He's Nendo, Nendo's mom, Nendo's dad, every other Nendo, and IKK.
Mm-hmm.
Herman Luis from Guardian Animation, Victor von Glansweig from The Royal Tutor, and Mamadai Kita Shirikawa from Tamako Maki and Tamako Love Story.
Cool.
So he's
Okay.
all over the place, it sounds like, between Sentai and Funimation.
Well, he
Yeah,
just
he-
moved to Dallas.
Good for him.
So we'll,
Good for him.
Yeah.
we'll probably be hearing him quite a bit more in these simul dubs.
We've already been hearing him in quite a number of these already, so more David Wald, I'm very, very okay with. Who would like to go? Who should go first? I still need to breathe.
I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Hearing Terry Doty as Ume makes me kind of lament the fact that I didn't watch MMO Junkie in dub. I watched it in sub because she's such a sentimentalist. Like Terry's got this like clueless sentimentalist voice to her, and that she doesn't sound like a ditz. Like I was a little worried that she would have the clueless parent voice because let's be honest here, Ume doesn't know what's going on in her own four walls exactly. But she's not stupid about it. She's a very good mom with this, like, I'm so happy that we get to be together as a family. Like, you can feel the maternal energy coming off her. Like, she's trying to give, especially to give May, the kind of motherly love that she's never had before. And that just radiates through the voicing in her character, even when they're not together, just her talking by herself. So I love that intentional lower tone that she has, too, because it makes her sound like she's a little bit older than she looks, because the character design doesn't make her look like she's older than like mid-20s, even though she's probably supposed to be somewhere in the 30s. Like it just helps balance out the character design. And as for David Wald, all I had written for him when he first showed up was WTF, mate, because I did not expect this. Like I said before, okay, the whole show was leading up to Show not being in the show at all, Show in the show.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And when he showed up, I already had this vision of him being like this tight ass suit wearing disciplinarian, but that's not what we got at all. So when you hear his young yet gruffer voice with the like the 5 o'clock shadow and the slacker hippie look to him, all of it put together really surprised me quite a bit, but it's definitely in character. It's not like David took the character and changed it entirely. It's very much the kind of person who wants to break out of the system and decided to, as we saw, he went and built his own school in impoverished countries or helping the less fortunate, basically becoming a traveling teacher instead of someone part of the system that's raising up debutantes in Japan. And I love David's performance in that. It's not silly and goofy to the point you can't take him seriously, and it's low enough that it kind of portrays the age that he's got on him. Again, the character design kind of makes him look a bit younger than he probably is, but I buy both these characters as believably parental sounding. And yes, David Wald for best boy.
All right. Yeah, I think Terry does a really good job at sounding like she sounds like a doting mother, but she doesn't like. I didn't think of it before, but it does kind of sound like she's not really going for like ditzy or absent-minded. It's just like she genuinely like cares for her family and whatnot. And it's not like she's not even really like a stay-at-home mom. She is a mom that seemed like she was on her own for a while, and the fact that she has a construction job implies she's like a much more like hard knocked, so to speak, and dealt with a much like lower income situation, so that they are in a more like well off situation is kind of different for her, and she's like trying to adjust how to actually be this normal family, even if it's not quite so normal. And I actually really liked the times her and David Wald were interacting together, because it's like, I genuinely see how this woman fell for this man, or I could see how this woman and how this guy fell for this girl or whatnot. I could see the dynamic between the two, and I see why they're interested in each other, and I think that's neat. David Wald is like, wow, this is an interesting character. You're right, the whole show I thought he was going to be either like this hard-ass, neglectful, or maybe at worst, straight up even abusive character. I didn't know where the show was going to go. This show very much could have gone the route of like hardcore, like assault within the family or whatnot. Honestly,
Yes,
the way the show goes and sets itself up, that is not necessarily an option that is unrealistic. So color me surprised at the fact that we meet this dad, and he's basically this huge dork. He's this huge, like, dork that genuinely has this really awkward relationship with his daughter, and he wants to set things right, but he does have to keep moving place to place because he really does want to keep helping people. And I think that's interesting. He's got like a gruffness to his natural voice, but it sounds much more like low key and sincere. And in the flashbacks, when he is in the suit, he sounds much more like hard ass and tight laced and authoritative compared to, like, it sounds different when he has the hair slicked back from when his hair is all natural. And the fact that both are distinct and different sounding is very impressive on David Wald's part, as well as the direction itself. Good job on both. They're very good parents, and I enjoy seeing them interact. I enjoy this family. Quotation mark.
Is David also... Do you also think David is best boy?
Objectively speaking, yes.
Alright, you can come back into the funhouse.
Alright.
Alright, so as for me, I thought once again I didn't expect Terry Doty in this role, but she manages to do a very solid job. It's funny because I know Terry Doty to be like a badass whenever I normally hear her. I mean, in the last couple of years alone, she went from being a badass to Doty-chan must be protected in Monster Girls to Doty is precious. Protect that spot at all costs.
She's basically every little young boy is like, and they're all precious before they grow up and become angsty edgelords or like super badasses.
I was going a different route, but okay.
It's true though.
Yeah. So again, for what we hear of her, because we don't see her as much in the show, she did a pretty good job. As for David Wald. Again, I knew that was coming. I still couldn't stop myself. As for David Wald, that man's like experiencing a renaissance. Because normally you hear him as like some manly characters, but you see him play a lot of Bishonen men in recent years, and this is no different. He does a very solid job. I mean, yeah, he is best boy in this show and in general, but
he's got a lot of diversity on his resume, and it really shows.
Oh yeah.
He really does, you know, and I think I had just come off a Haikyuu where he played like a really like comedic role, and he also did some singing in there, and I was like, wow, like I didn't know David Wald could do all this stuff. I'm so used to him being the evil DILF, and now he's not evil, but he's still a DILF. Like I said before, in episode 5, I thought, like, with that little smirk at the end, that he was going to play sort of an evil character. But his sincerity concerning his job and his feelings for his life, his wife, and his kids, it convinced me otherwise. And I was actually really excited to hear him not be evil for twice. So I liked it. Good job, Boo. You my number 7. And as for Terry Doty, yes, she is the cool mom. I thought she played it with a bit more maturity than the character that she played in MMO Junkie, although I'm assuming they're somewhat around the same age. But I think she still plays this mom as a character with a lot of spontaneity, which she obviously would have to uproot her life and marry some dude she like met on a retreat or something, and, you know, take her daughter, get a brand new stepdaughter, and just embrace her with loving arms. And there has to be like a lot of spontaneity in that, and I feel that it came across in her vocal performance.
All right, that's good.
All right, well said.
Yeah, so you ready to move on now?
Yes, let's move on.
Okay, from here on out, every character will be individual. Starting with Matsuri Mizusawa. Before we go on, full disclaimer, for anybody watching this,
we have recorded this at episode 6 of the English dub.
At the time of recording, I am the only person that caught up in the sub, so I know the true character, but to keep it spoiler free, I'll just say this right now. She's a man-eater, she's a woman-eater, she's Yuzu's childhood friend, and, well, she's a little swamp witch, which the voice actress herself kind of described. Speaking of which, do you have any thoughts on who a voice actress might be, though?
You actually told me to make predictions for this character, and I actually did. I compared the seiyuu and the appearance of the character, and I came up with Tia Ballard and Sarah Wiedenhef.
That's funny, because all three of my predictions, I went based on pink-haired characters as well.
I wasn't even thinking of pink-haired characters, I was just thinking of Squeakies.
Wait, what pink-haired character has Sarah Wiedenhef played?
Good question. I think there is one.
There's gotta be one.
Yeah, we'll probably find out after recording.
Right.
This can bug me now. Hang on, keep going.
As for me, I went with Alexis Tipton because she's played a lot of pink-haired characters, and Matsuri's no different. I went with our ADR director herself, Kristen McGuire, because she is a pink-haired character, and I thought maybe she'd want to slot herself in somewhere, as all directors do, or most directors. I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
Yeah. She definitely would. She would be fitting for that. I can hear that definitely. I can hear Kristen in this character design and from the 3 lines we've heard so far. Now, you told, like Andrew said, you told us to make predictions for this character, and I did not. So I don't have any guesses.
Yeah, I'm a bad Catholic schoolgirl. I also did not play by the rules.
Yeah, and speaking of breaking rules, I had one more prediction. That's Felicia Angel, because the last time she played a pink-haired character, I pretty much lost my shit.
Okay.
Well, art is subjective, so who's getting subjected to play this role? Atsuri is played by Christy Rothrock, who you've heard other roles as Hodami Ichinose in Classroom with the Elite, Ashiga in Kankole, Ayase Kurogiri in Keijo, Setsuko Sato in Tsukigakure, Kolan in Woden, and Lutz Nishigori in Yuri on Ice.
So I think it's funny that you mentioned Yuri on Ice last as like the little toddler child, because that was all I heard. Like as soon as the character opened her mouth, I was like, "Is she supposed to be 6?" And then I was like, "Oh no, I guess not."
All 6-year-olds have cell phones these days.
I think my little 6-year-old niece wants a cell phone, but I think. She sounded like a bitchy 6-year-old. Like, I don't know. I almost thought she sounded too young, unless she is younger than Yuzu, which I don't know the answer to that.
I found one. I found a pink-haired character that Sarah Wiedenhef plays. She plays Matin Ginger from Fairy Tail.
I will believe you because I will never watch all of Fairy Tail. So you could be lying for all I know, but you're probably not.
I'm being honest.
So yeah, that's what I thought of the couple lines that we've heard of this character. I mean, a good job playing a bitchy younger character. Is she younger than Yuzu, or are they the same age?
Apparently she's younger.
Okay, good.
But then not by much, right?
I feel better in my assessment then.
All right.
I really thought she sounded like kind of bitchy, and that's a good thing.
All right.
Right? Because she is bitchy, right?
Since when? Yeah. Oh, you mean the acting? I was gonna say when has being bitchy ever been a good thing?
Well, take a look at my life.
Okay, so here's what I have written down for Matsuri. I'm sure, I think I actually wrote this before I knew who's casted her. I'm sure the actress playing her will do good for this character, and I'm sure that this character will have complete respect for personal boundaries and will not forcefully shove their tongue down anyone's throat. Nope, not at all.
Oh god, consider
why. I'm just assuming this character will do no such immoral thing at all throughout the entirety of their role in the show, and they are a pure beacon of light and hope and love, and nothing else at all. Anyways, Christy Rothrock.
If you believe that,
she sounds good.
All right.
She sounds good. She sounds like very squeaky. She sounds very also like there's something sinister under that cold moe heart. But yeah, she sounds really good for what I've heard so far. And no, I don't really believe that something's up with this girl.
I was gonna say, if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you.
Okay.
Oh, you go find out. As for me, yeah, I really liked what I heard of Christy. I'm just wondering what direction. Oh god, I wonder what direction Christy gave Christy in the booth. Like, alright, Christy, now I want you to make baby talk, but sound a little perverted at the same time. I was like, what direction did she give this girl? Because it works, but at the same time, it's like
it sounds like this character is supposed to sound uncomfortably almost illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that she was a man-eater, but the better term would probably be jailbait.
Yeah!
Again, you...
Yeah, stop! Jamal, we don't know, stop.
No, you can get an idea, though, because, like you said... She shows up at the very end of episode 6, and that is the scene where she is comforting, in quotation marks, one of her friends who just got dumped by her boyfriend, and as soon as she finishes comforting her, we hear her inner thoughts, Richard III style, and it's basically, you are such a stupid bitch, and your boyfriend looks stupid too. Oh, my good friend Yuzu's, I see a picture of her. I haven't seen her in a while. I should check up on her. And that's enough. That is more than enough for Chrissy to get across the idea that this is a very bad character. This is a very evil person. And there's one character in a different show, actually, that she reminded me of right away. And I'm trying to remember the exact wording here. Now, Andrew knows this character because he knows I've been watching Kill la Kill. She reminds me a lot of, God, what's her name?
Yui?
Yui, that's it!
Nui Harime! Oh my god,
Yeah.
You're right.
She reminds me of the kind of innocent face, nice voiced sounding, total backstabbing bitch that you never see coming. You never see them coming. And like I said, I don't know what Kristen's direction to Christy was on this, but I'm pretty sure it was just, okay, deep down into your inner evil 12-year-old and just have fun with that, because I'm looking forward to more episodes that she's in. Like, by the time this episode goes up, all of us will have probably seen more episodes that she's in, and who knows, she may be our favorite character at that point, because so far, I like what Christy's doing with the performance, even though it's a terrible person playing, a terrible human being.
I should have a lot to say for somebody who's spoken for, like, probably less than 2 minutes as far as we've seen.
I mean, yeah, she does leave a lasting impression, which
okay.
gives me a bit of an issue, though, because I'm still trying to get used to Christy, because she hasn't had a lot of big roles, so it's kind of hard for me to lock onto her voice just to...
That's fair.
Make a full judgment of it, but I did like what I hear so far.
Right.
I like what I've heard so far, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I think we can move on.
I'm looking forward to her breaking all of us.
I'm sure.
Again, we have no idea, right, Jamal?
Zip's mouth shut.
Good move.
Speaking of, covering people's mouths,
Oh
boy.
my.
I have no regrets.
I tell you tomorrow, but anywhere but here.
Technically, she goes for the jugular.
Oh good god, this is gonna be
Jamal!
I just want to pull her twin drills. That's all I want to do. Let me.
Why do I want to pull your
I'm
ears?
not making the joke I made earlier.
Let me play with her hair.
Yes. Yes, we're gonna get on to the Twin Drills character of the show, because of course there has to be one. Himiko Momokido. Hold on. Yeah, pretty much she's, speaking of childhood friends, she's May's childhood friend. Another VP of the student council. Has a rather stuck-up and stubborn personality and hates people who doesn't follow school regulations. And let's admit it, she, of course, is a closeted lesbian. I mean, come on.
Closeted?
Yeah, we can take the closeted out of there. Everyone in the show is... Okay, interesting that you say that. Okay,
where the fuck do you
Okay,
get closeted
okay.
from that?
Because here's the thing. Okay,
Okay, not
Here's the thing. Like, you see it in, like, what, episode 3 or 4, and you never see it anything. You never see any more after that. It's like, she just being a manipulative. Let's put it this way: she's being a manipulative little bitch. Okay.
now. I will agree that she's closeted, but not in lesbianness. But she's closeted in her trying to hide her feelings for May, because we don't know how she's feeling about May until she confides that in Yuzu's like one-on-one conversation. So like we're to assume that on the outside she wants to appear calm, cool, and collected.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is she's a third wheel and she's gonna get friend-zoned. That's all. Actually, she did get friend-zoned.
Gonna.
Yeah, let's go on to predictions.
Yeah.
All right. So who do I have for? Actually, I don't think I had any for this one actually.
All right.
Because to be fair, what I had watched in the sub, she was just sort of like angry little stuck-up girl. I didn't know how big her role was going to be at that point.
Yeah. I was also surprised that she kind of ended up being more important than we thought, because from episode 1, the dichotomy I think we all got was Kaio and Himeko were going to be like the sidekick characters that wouldn't get a whole lot of development. So it's kind of surprising in episode 3 where she like gets a whole 2 episodes devoted to her development.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but when I first saw her, even in episode 1, and I was like, okay, I should make a prediction. Who's a good higher-voiced, peppy character? Sarah Wiedenheft. Sarah Wiedenheft's got the voice for it. Sarah Wiedenheft.
I can
see it.
Yeah.
Jinx.
I don't know if she's played a character with twin drills yet. We know she's played one with pink hair, but not twin drills yet.
Stop saying the word drill.
I think I still have her. Okay.
GG!
Oh wait, no, Noah. She does play a character with drills. She plays Okiku from Konohana Kitan.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah!
You know what? That was another show that I only watched in sub. I didn't know who was the English actors for that show. Now I need to watch
Motherfucker,
that.
you really gotta fix this shit.
I wanted to keep up with the show. I didn't want to wait for the dubs that season. So, now I gotta watch all the shows again. Can we
Damn right,
redo
me
winter,
too.
please? Can we just go back in time or not winter, fall? Can we redo fall 2017?
No, we cannot. Who else has predictions?
I passed.
I guess it's just me then. Yeah, I wanted someone who could be a bit uptight, maybe a little spunk to her, so I had Megan Shipman and Jeannie Torado. Because to be honest, Momokito was kind of one of the hardest characters to predict, because as you said, she doesn't get much presence until like episode 3 or 4. And when I started making predictions, I didn't know who she was at the time. Like, they never really associated anybody by name until later on. And then I took a look at the character again, and I thought to myself, she is twin drills. It's gonna be Brit April, isn't it?
No, it couldn't be. No, you talking
No.
crazy.
So,
Yeah, it turns out it was Brit April.
Dang it.
Surprise!
You are good at this game.
Yes.
so tell me, what has Bryn April done in the past?
Yeah, she voices Melody in Fairy Tail. That was her first role ever. She's Hikari Takanashi in Interviews with Monster Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Princess Shirahoshi in One Piece. And she is Moe in Sakura Quest. She also plays some girl named Moe in Sakura Quest, which kind of brings up my point here. I think this is a typecast, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Really?
What?
Okay, let
Because
the man talk. Let the man talk.
Let me ask you a question. She plays a Twin Tails character. How many Twin Tail characters do you think Bryn's played in the past?
I never associated her
I
with
can't
Twin
think of
Tails.
any.
I can't think of any.
Right, because Twin Drills is traditionally, as Lucky Star pointed out, the tsundere character design. I don't think I've seen... I don't associate Bryn traditionally as a tsundere voice actress.
I don't either.
No, I just associate her with Twin Tail character because she's played about close to 20 of them. But like,
I don't fucking believe you. I don't fucking believe
I
you.
could give
I
you
think
a
you're
couple.
wrong.
Okay,
I could give you a couple.
ladies,
give you a couple examples.
ladies. What doesn't matter? It doesn't matter how May she's played in the past. What matters is how she plays this one.
You're right. How
Yeah.
does she play this one?
Well, I mean, she plays it very well to the best of her abilities. I mean, I would have liked to have seen her in a different role, but is Britt April doing her thing? I mean, we have, because here's the thing: Chris Sablett usually plays a manly man. Britt April usually plays Twin Tails, and of course, that's how I would get this prediction. So it makes logical sense.
I really don't think it's typecasting though, because I mean, you can't really typecast somebody in anime, like with the way a character looks. I don't think you can.
You'd be surprised.
Well, but here's the thing. I thought she was playing against type here, because the roles that I know Bryn April for is like the girl in
First Love Monster?
in Noragami.
Okay.
You think her
the
as
girl
much
in First
more
Love
like...
Monster, the really, really, really cute, nice girl, and this girl was kind of bitchy. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
Himeko was kind of bitchy, and it was nice to hear Bryn play a bitch who's not crazy, like in King's Game. But
Oh,
we won't talk
boy.
about
Oh,
King's Game yet.
let's
This is
not
a thing
talk
that's
about King's Game.
still gonna be for another episode. It's still coming, fam. Nobody's watched it but me, and I don't want to watch it twice.
You're right.
But I really didn't think that this was your typical Bryn, and to the point where I did not recognize her voice. I definitely thought it went against type here.
I'm very much on par with Gigi here. I think she does a really good job being this rich, snooty, overtly like jealous lesbian. She's stuck up, she's angry, she's frustrated in every single way, and it's pretty prevalent that she's like simultaneously stuck up but also kind of like heartbroken, and she knows she has no real chance, and she knows she can never be on May's level whether she realizes it or not. And the way I describe Himiko as a character is she is the angry yet horny little Pomeranian ready to hump May's leg at a moment notice.
Oh, good God.
Dang it, now
I'm gonna say this right now. Here's the thing. I wrote the angry, horny Pomeranian ready to hump her leg at a moment's notice. I wrote that
I hope
for
you
a
wrote-
certain
You knew
thing.
she
I
had
wrote
a dog.
No, okay, actually, yes, before I knew she had a dog, and before I realized, holy fuck, I was kidding, show, I didn't think she'd actually hump her at a moment's notice, what the fuck?
to quote my first girlfriend is a gal, she is DTF like it's NBD.
Oh my god.
I hate you all right now.
We
Oh
love
my
you too,
God.
Jamal.
No, but for real, I totally bought her playing this character completely. Like, I genuinely think, like, she made this angry character. Like, she was very much hurt and heartbroken, but also very stuck up and angry and bitchy. And even when it comes to straight up, assaulting May, like, that is like, yo, it's like, how far are you going right now? The camera cuts away. They never say how far they go. She says nothing happens. We don't know nothing happens. A lot could have happened. Like, it's like the assaulter is going after the assaulter in what can only be referred to as a assault spiral drill, if you will.
It's like an Escher painting, you know?
Yeah, basically. But no, I thought Bryn was actually really, really good as Bryn, and she did a very convincing job at making angry lesbian noises, as well as doing a really good job acting as the physical embodiment of angry lesbian noises. That is Himiko. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
yeah, so, yeah, pretty much she did a good job. I mean, if you know me, you know I'm good. I would love an April at any given time. It's just a character that I have a problem with, but you'll see why later on.
It just sounds like you don't like the character.
To be fair, the character is kind of mostly unlikable anyway, so
But is she sympathetic?
I'm pretty sure not. Otherwise, she would not have did what she did until later.
Okay.
I mean, you could still like the whole deal with this show is essentially to understand these characters that would do these things, and I don't like those characters that do these things. Whether or not you buy the motivation why they do these things is another thing, but the show goes really hard out of its way to make you understand why, I guess?
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like you could interpret this as an excuse to get smut, which obviously there's an appeal for that. But rather than play into that, it kind of subverts the expectations a little bit by giving them a motivation, a backstory, some actual human empathy. Like, you could watch this and say, okay, these are conditions that could happen to people that may cause them to act this way. Like, it's not so far out of the way. Like, it's not Kill la Kill levels of my evil mother wants to control the world with life fibers. This is, no, I grew up in a rich society, unable to express love to someone I actually love, so I'm going to get the most out of it while I still can, in the only way I know how to express it. Like, that is very human. It's not an excuse, but it's believable.
It is not an excuse. I think that's the thing with the show, is that here's the thing. I was afraid the show was going to try and... Okay, you know what? It kind of does sometimes excuse it, which I think is my biggest issue with the show, or the content of the show. But we'll get more into that when we get to a certain somebody else. But okay, I will say, this was a very weird character, but I enjoyed snooty, rich, arrogant, angry lesbian Bryn April.
I'm never gonna get that dog humping image out of my head now. Thank you, Andrew.
I also wrote that before I realized she had a little Pomeranian of her own too. It's like the show was explicitly fucking with my analogy.
I mean,
like she was fucking me.
Yeah, they looked in the future and saw your analogy and wrote it into the manga. Clearly.
Of course. All right, I've said my piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can I? Do I get to talk?
I'm sorry.
You've been talking. I thought you've been talking.
Cage at all this episode.
No, I meant about Bryn. I didn't get to talk about Bryn yet. Please let me out of the box.
I won't let you out of the box, but you can talk.
Oh, thank you. So, I don't have too much more to add than what these guys say. Yeah, it's Bryn doing really good in a slightly unconventional role. I'm on Andrew and Gigi's side here in the I don't think this is typecast. But I will say, a writing tick that I noticed is that she seems to use more advanced vocab than some of the other characters. Like, Yuzu obviously is given, more standard street talk. Mei doesn't talk as much. So, so Caitlin seemed to give Himiko more of, she uses words like flippant and just words that normal people in quotation marks wouldn't normally use. And I like that as a way to convey her more high-class background. And I also like the fact that Bryn doesn't give her the traditional tsundere, it's not like I like you or anything, Mei Baka kind of voice to her. Like, that would get old really fast, and I think we're already tired of that kind of voice. So, yeah, I like the fact that the show, and this comes from the show itself, gave her a not exactly tsundere personality. They gave her a tragic, scorned lesbian mentality, which, it's different enough than what I think we're used to when we see that character design. You see the character design and you think, not going to have a whole lot of presence, not going to be more than comic relief, but yeah, she goes more out of her way to be lower voiced and more serious, like especially in the tea house scene, so that you kind of feel the layers off of her, which, let's be honest here, I don't think any of us went into this thinking that we were going to get layers from characters. We thought we were going to get nice Harlequin smut and move on to the next round.
I thought this show was going to be much more, like, hardcore, like, yo, let's take these pairs of scissors and see where it goes. And it's much more, like, hardcore, like, soap opera, like, everybody's sad, everybody's betraying somebody, everybody's poisoned the water well, somebody's dead sister is actually the mastermind the whole time kind of shit.
Oh, Depp, you have no idea. It's going to be a dead sister in a robot at the end. I can feel it coming.
Oh, God. You know what? That'll make it interesting to me. But yeah, no.
Now I'm thinking of the Welcome to the NHK where they're describing the ultimate girl. She's your classmate and childhood friend who also happens to live next door. She's also a robot, but not just any robot, a maid robot!
By the way, I know very next to nothing about fashion as a straight white male who doesn't give a shit about how I look, but even I could tell that dress and her appearance clash like hell.
I don't remember that. I'll take your word for it, though.
Alright, so...
Alright. So you
yeah.
got to move on now?
I'm good.
I do have just...
Gigi, you did?
I'm fine.
Okay.
No, Jamal, just really quickly, does Himiko play more of a part in some of the upcoming episodes?
Zips mouth shut.
Okay.
Speaking of covering one's mouth...
Yes, I'm so excited!
That was... you damn segues, Noah.
This whole show has ruined me!
Is it time to talk about Best Girl? Is it time to talk
Yes.
about Best Girl?
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
boy.
And of course, by best girl, he means Harumi Taniguchi,
Yay!
a.k.a. Harumi.
I love her. She's so great.
She...
Why wasn't she the love interest?
Oh my god.
Because if that was the case, you just get your regular old Yuri, and that'd be no fun.
I'd love to have, like... You know what? I'd be all for, like, cute, dumbass, like, girlfriend shenanigans and stuff. I don't want my non-con, cis-con, hardcore soap opera drama.
You don't like a little incest in your Yuri? You like classic original flavor Yuri?
Yes, I enjoy two characters being in a dorky but happy, intimate relationship with each other and realizing they like each other and going on fun, dorky, cute relationship adventures. By the way, go read the manga Kase-san, go watch that OVA when it comes out, and then be angry that it's not gonna get dubbed because Pony Canyon does that shit.
Wow, you find a way to rag on everything in that segue.
Oh boy, Kase-san is so good. I love it. It's adorable. Please read it. Anyways. Harumi.
What are we talking
Yeah.
about?
Harumi,
Right.
she's the friend you want in real life. There's two kinds of people. There are friends that'll bail you out of jail, and there's the friends that'll keep you, there's the friend that'll bail you out of jail, the friend that'll go to prison with you. She's the latter.
She is the friend that'll go to prison with you. You know, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah, thank God I can finally put these notes to use.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
So she's pretty much a gal in disguise. Spent part of the, has got to the iHeart Academy pretty much around the same time as Yuzu. And as of right now, it's the only friend that really understands what she's like.
Basically, unlike most of the other girls, she didn't get fucked by the system. She chooses how she gets fucked.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the silence to that.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, you're not wrong at all. She does choose how to...
She chooses how she lives her life, basically. She chooses how she does things. She adapts, but she is not a little indentured, like, basically handmaided trophy wife to be fucked by some rich, fat billionaire guy. No, she's going to do this, and she's going to live her life the way she wants it, has fun, while still also being in a preppy high school.
So what the hell kind of Funimation voice actress could possibly be that?
I can tell you who I had in my mind for who I wrote as the better Garu girl in my notes. For her, I had two people in mind. I had Jade Saxton, because I thought Jade could be this sort of preppy voice, but also have this really distinct voice that sounded independent, like she could do that, and I thought it'd be really good. And I also thought Jeannie Torado would be a really good fit for this character as well.
I also had Jeannie Torado. I had her, Joe Harris, and Morgan Garrett because I wanted somebody who could display the kind of spunk that Harumi has.
A lot of J's in there.
Noah?
So, you guys had a lot of J characters, J actresses in there. I'm gonna throw one more out there. As far as, hardcore, not gonna get fucked by the system, runs this school, Jamie Markey.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes, because not just because she plays best gal in my first girlfriend is a gal, but also because she's got that She just does very good in the solid lead actress role without being too bitchy, I guess. Like I know we're using the word bitchy a lot in this episode, but I like it when Jamie plays like good supporting characters.
It's shoujo trash. Everything is bitchy, and if it's not bitchy, it's not doing its job. I predicted Dawn Bennett in this role because she was a really snarky, funny girl in First Love Monster that nobody's seen but me, Noah, and Megan.
Don't remind me.
I've seen it, unfortunately.
I liked that show. And I thought Harumi was like a really funny, snarky kind of girl, and I wanted to be best friends with her. So I thought Dawn Bennett would be a good fit here.
Okay.
I think we all want to be best friends with her.
Yeah, right?
Please
Yeah,
take us karaokeing.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to be best friends with her, and so does her voice actress. And who voices her is Margaret McDonald.
Really? Yeah, this one.
Yes.
What has Margaret done?
Well, she's mainly a Sentai actor. This is her... I think... No, she got another role, but this is her first Funimation role. Other roles you've heard her in, of course. Honey and Habitora, Izuzu Log Horizon, Rika Takadashi from Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions, and Tabiko from Tabiko Market and Tabiko Love Story.
Oh, that's where.
So, yeah. So I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
So, I don't think Margaret McDonald plays Harumi. I think Margaret McDonald is Harumi. Because for context, because I managed to watch Kristen's stream on Anime Unlocked, and apparently she identifies with the characters like right down to the T, like it's pretty uncanny. As a matter of fact, like in some ways she also kind of looks like her too. Like
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
have to look this up. Like I know there's a picture on the screen for our viewers, but I do not have that in front of me right now. Hang on. Like keep going. Talk amongst yourselves.
yeah, so she was super exciting to be cast in a role like this because remember I said at the beginning there was one other pansexual person.
This?
Here we go.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she really adored Harumi from like the very beginning. Like,
you know what? This character, like, I was not sure what this character's deal was because this character was just like, interestingly enough, she wasn't really open to like even being into anybody. She was just like, I just want to have fun, and you're just like, don't worry, you're hot, whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She is the embodiment of the song "Girls Just Want to Have Fun."
You know what? I did not interpret that as, like, an actual, like, I'd bag you if I could. I just assumed that was just being like, oh, yo, girl, you're hot, you're my best friend, I love you, or something like that. I did not interpret that as like, oh, hey, yeah, I'd fuck you, whatever.
Yeah, because pretty much a lot of what Harumi does, she kind of identifies like from the curiosity that she has, especially the cafe scene, which I found out is one of her favorite scenes.
Oh, she's just like, you're reading this stuff? Wait, how does it even go? You put this knee here, and then you put that hand there?
Yeah, she said that's the kind of thing she would do in high school.
That's really interesting. That is really interesting,
Not to that extent. I don't know to that extent, but yeah, that kind of curiosity. I love it when actors get to play characters that are like themselves, because, you know, you can be natural all you want, and I've heard of her before, but I never really heard a lot of her roles. Mm-hmm. So I decided to watch one episode of Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions, and she sounded phenomenal. I'm like, this girl is a cross between Ryan Reynolds and Brittany Lauder, man. Like,
that's an interesting comparison. I'm gonna watch Love, Chunibyo at some point. It's on my list for backlog. Okay.
Yeah, man. I need to continue.
So yeah, Margaret. I was not sure what to expect, but I think the voice definitely fits. I think it was a much more... Like, I think in my mind in Japanese, this character was still very much like a girly girl in my mind, or like a gal girl in my mind. But in English, she's almost like a much more like carefree, rebellious tomboy. And that is really interesting to me, because it's like, it's not what I expected, but it works perfectly well for this character. And I genuinely think, like, it's really interesting. And she's very carefree and fun and enjoyable. I like the eccentric, okay, what is the line when it's like she's trying to comfort her?
I wrote it down. It is, now, come to my bosom, child.
I love the delivery there, and I love the way she signs that. It's like, wait, did you actually find the answer in my boobs? It's like,
yeah.
But it's just like, that is something I see this character is, and I really like the dynamic between her and Yuzu. It's like, I would much actually rather a show about these two being like besties and or actually realizing, oh shit, I'm attracted to you, instead of hardcore, my sister is my lover, but she's got daddy issues and also the school, and then it did.
But I just want to see like fan art of the two of them in like a Spice and Wolf situation, where
which is odd because the guy that directed this show is the same director for Spice and Wolf.
Oh god, I forgot about that. Yeah, it is the same director.
Completely different studio, but yeah.
I never would have ever.
Yeah, also straight up, this show is much more competently directed and framed than I ever expected it to be.
It is. Like, if I could just point out to one scene in particular, like episode 6, the bicycle ride with Mei and Yuzu, there is so much panning and tracking. There is 3D cars moving in tune with the hand-drawn animation. Like, there is so much, it feels like it's actually simulating riding a bicycle. Like, yeah, it's way better animated and directed, like said Andrew, than I think I expected from a show of this caliber.
Right. Anyways, point is, Margaret McDonald as Best Girl, I was not sure what I expected. I was pleasantly surprised with what I got. You go, girl. Gigi, you still with us?
I'm here. I'm just thinking about a lot of things that you guys have said that I want to kind of talk about later. But as for Margaret McDonald, I felt like I had never heard her before, and then I realized she was in a bunch of Sentai shows I didn't watch. So she's actually kind of like a veteran. But I also remember that Kristen and Cliff were talking on Twitter about how they were doing open call auditions, and I wonder if this is what one of them was for.
Yeah, it was.
It was? Okay. So that makes a lot of sense, because Margaret had never done a Dallas dub before, so to bring somebody up from Houston, I think was a good choice here. I really enjoyed the performance. I thought she was pretty funny, and I agree with you, Andrew. I think in the English, she very much sounded like kind of like a tomboy best friend, which I loved. Like, I thought it fits. I can't even talk. I thought that it fit very well.
All right.
Definitely.
Alright, so we're good to move on, or?
Oh, are we talking about Herdia?
I didn't get to talk yet.
Oh, wait, you did?
Oh, sorry.
You keep skipping over me. I don't like that.
Yeah, I can assure you it's completely unintentional.
I'm sure. Absolutely sure. I have nothing but great things to say about Margaret, especially because if we're getting into the top 3 characters here, and I consider these top 3 characters we're talking about to be like the heart and soul of the whole show. So I really was hoping that there would be different sounding actresses for all 3 of them, and luckily with Margaret McDonald, we get a slightly older sounding, actually a bit of a Midwest voice to her, which contrasts with the R2 that we're going to talk about coming up soon. But she doesn't only contrast vocally with them, but she also contrasts in personality, because she's got like this compassionate wisdom to her that really makes her stand out as someone who is fully in charge. Like, you get the sense that Yuzu and Mei aren't really at the wheel driving their own lives, and I kind of get the sense that Harumi is definitely driving this wheel. Like, she knows where we're going, she's got she's got her favorite song on the radio, and she knows exactly where she's going in life. And I love her. She is absolutely the best character in this whole show. I would not have changed anything about it, and I especially love the way that she contrasts both her more fun-going personality when she's talking to Yuzu, and then how she gets more outspoken when she's being bossed around. Like, she doesn't take anyone's shit, but she doesn't let that make her a bitter person. Like, some of these people in this cast obviously have been shaped by the system. She is not. Like, I fully expect her to be, like, CEO of a startup tech company in a few years, making six figures and blowing it all on like awesome trips for skydiving. I'm running out of words too.
All right.
I think we're all good to move on.
Yes.
General consensus is Margaret McDonald was very good in this role.
And let's hope we hear her in many, many more things.
And you've got a fan in me, Margaret. So, let's move on to the ghost of the show here. Let's move on now to the fight
Wow.
to student council president, May Ihara.
Oh boy.
It was gonna happen sooner or later.
I'm aware. I know.
Yeah, she's an honor student, the chairman's granddaughter. She's stern, cold, and often composed. She pretty much closes herself off, and when she does show emotion, she kind of shows it the wrong way. But that's because she doesn't know how to handle those emotions properly. Pretty much, first time you meet her, she gives off kind of a bad impression, which causes Yuzu to take an interest in her later on.
It's also a bad touch impression too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
All we know,
Wait.
all we know is given.
Wait. Are you telling me that having the chairman come up to you and stroke your ass on the first day of school is not normal?
I would assume not.
Oh, dang it.
No, numbnuts.
Well, I'm just... I thought that was normal. Well, shoot, I need to rethink my entire Catholic education.
No, it's just a Catholic education thing.
Oh.
That's normal there.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, so
You know, when you
whatever
view
the
this
case-
from the lens of a Catholic girls' school, suddenly things like make a lot more sense. Actually,
But it's not a Catholic school.
It's not... You're right.
It's a private institution.
Okay, I know that it has nothing to do with the show, like different studios, different everything, but this entire show consistently made me have flashbacks to Strawberry Panic. And if you've ever seen that show, then you know exactly
I
why.
agree and disagree at the same time.
Like, okay,
Whatever.
Because Strawberry Panic was way trashier than this.
also strawberries are better than oranges.
and it was also animated much better than it should have been. Thank you, Madhouse. But that's entirely for a different discussion. So let's talk about May,
Yes.
shall we? If we keep talking,
Yes,
this recording will go into May.
yeah, you're gonna have to give me a birthday present very
Yeah,
soon.
me too.
In any case, given the way the story's progressing, whatever the case may be, one thing's for sure: her first girlfriend's gonna be a gal. So, do we have any predictions for May?
Ooh, get in the box.
You can't see it. You can't see it.
I respect that shitty garbage pun. I love you.
You are one of us.
One of us. One of us.
One of us.
Speaking of one of us, let's figure out which one is gonna voice this character.
Who is going to
Predictions.
voice this character? I had three. Who could potentially voice May Ihara. First things first, I wanted to hear a deeper voice, but this is somebody who's done a lot of higher pitched voices, but I think she could totally do deeper, sultrier, because I know she's done deeper and sultrier, Monica Rial. And if we're talking about sultry actresses as well, who could play quiet, reserved, and sexy, Morgan Garrett has done that very well as well. But, as a bit of an interesting choice, I thought Dawn Bennett really could have done this one really well, because I was thinking Satsuki from Konohana Kitan would have been a really fitting voice for May.
And you're making me want to watch that show even more now.
Fucking
Stop reminding me of shows I'll never cover.
never say never, but
We'll go rogue, but we'll do like a backdoor dub talk channel where we'll like cover everything.
LOL.
Oh god.
Anyway,
You did that to yourself. Wink.
Oh god.
damn it! Can we please keep it together
I
now?
love you, Gigi.
I just
Okay.
come in with the zinger. So my prediction for May, in the Japanese, I hate May. Like, I hate this character. I hate her a whole lot. I think I want to punch her in the face every time she opens her mouth. I thought she was really mean and bitchy, and I just didn't like her. I thought she was very cold. And so the person who I picked for this isn't somebody who I think is mean, bitchy, and very cold, but she did play Tokaku in Riddle Story of Devil, which is like my favorite thing on the face of the planet. So I picked Morgan Berry,
Interesting.
my wife. So I thought that this would be like an actress that I would really want to see here, just so it would make me like this character a little more.
Interesting.
Okay. Guess I'll go next. So for May, I also went with Morgan Garrett for somewhat of the same reasons, because I know she has played a couple of low-key characters before. But my first two come with kind of a story. Because I look at May and Yuzu, I'm thinking to myself, lesbian couples. How many lesbian couples have I seen in anime?
More than you'd think, but less than you'd hope.
But there was one I've seen in a recent season last year. Maybe you've heard of a little show called Attack on Titan.
No, you did.
I did.
Wow.
Never heard of it.
I know.
I did.
That's where you went, huh?
You son of a bitch. All right.
Yes, I put Brenda Elizabeth.
Wait, you put both of them as May?
Yeah, either or could work, really. Because I've heard both of them play low-key characters before.
Okay.
Okay, I could see Elizabeth, but...
Yeah, I
Okay.
can see Elizabeth, too.
Okay, cool. Okay. You son of a bitch.
And you... Yeah. And how about you, Noah?
I didn't go quite that far out. I was thinking just someone with a low register that I haven't heard as much and would like to hear more of, and that was Afia Yu. Not for any like particular role I could think of outside my head, but just because I know that she can reach that timbre that May's supposed to have.
All right.
Yeah. In any case, we're all wrong.
Yay!
Because who's actually voicing May is Emily Connors.
Mm.
And if you don't know who she is, you might have heard her in other stuff, such as Belly and Honey Pop, Nozomi Kamanashi and Keijo, Akane Hiyama and Love Tyrant, Baccarat in One Piece Film Gold, Rio Rollins in Rio Rainbow Gate, Ashley Ono is in A Sister's All You Need, and Taguri Kaneyama from Sugumomo.
All right.
You had to start out with the Honey Pop reference, didn't you? Now I'm gonna... That totally throws off my...
That's the only reason why I know who she is.
Given the content of this show and the content of Honey Pop, of course I would start out with that.
Which
okay.
That's a totally different kind of character.
No.
Plus, it's in alphabetical order, so...
All right.
Oh my god.
Oh, cool.
So, how do we do this one? Since I think we're gonna have an interesting discussion about May.
Well, okay, I'll just
Go ahead.
pop it. I'll just pop it right now. So you know how I said that I hated May in the Japanese?
All right.
Yeah.
I tweeted this, and this is the character who I was talking about, everybody, when I said, I love when an English dub can make me change my mind 180 about a character. I freaking love May now. Like, just the way that Amber performs this, like, I thought the Japanese was so stoic and so bitchy, but like this was like amazing to me. Like I can hear the layers in her performance. She's like, it's so sexy. It's very weird. Not weird in a bad way, but weird comparatively to the Japanese, which I thought she was just a bitch. No, now she's like totally sexy. She's secretive. And she's got this angst and this sadness deep inside her. It really made me want to get to know May and get to know all of her facets, when before I just didn't care because I thought this character was just awful and I didn't want to deal with her. But now I was like, oh my God. Like I really like this now. Like, I care. And so that's like the number one thing that you could do as a voice actor, is to make me care about a character I didn't like or didn't care about. And she did that in spades. So I am so happy with this. Like, you have no idea. I just think that it's off the chain amazing.
Gigi, I'm gonna be honest with you. I completely agree. Cause straight up, I fucking did not like her at all in Japanese. I still have, I'm gonna say this. English does not improve my thoughts on the character or what they do. But I think I was able to get the character better in English. Or at least understand that there is supposed to be, like, sorrow and angst and frustration and like almost like a childish naivete and to them, while in Japanese it was just this aggressive, bitchy, horny little follows rules by the book kind of bitch. But yeah, wow, I am saying bitch a lot. I think that's a conversation in of itself. But no, you're right. Yes. Amber Lee sounds very, very good, and I was able to, I think, understand what this character is supposed to be. She's cold, distant, predatory, definitely all the things that they're trying to go for, and given it's usually kind of different from what I'm used to hearing Amber pull off, I was pretty impressed. Like I said, I get May better. She's grown on me more. I just don't like her that much. Like, I understand her. I'll say this. Like with Himiko, I understand her, and I get her deal. I just feel there is an excessive amount of, like, baggage to the series that, and hardcore soap opera stuff pretty much all revolves around May's tragedy, longing, yada yada yada, and it just makes me think that Yuzu could have just chilled with Harumi the whole show. Even if they didn't get together, I just would have been like, if it was just her and Harumi basically just being the rebels at a preppy, like, girls' school, that would have been great.
But this is like super shoujo trashy, and it is a soap opera.
No,
so
I get that's what it is.
Like, you have to kind of take that into consideration.
Oh, no. I totally get it, and I totally agree. May is great for what this show wants to be. I just want something else. That's what I'm trying to say. I think May is integral to this show, and she is good for what the show wants to be.
Yes.
The heart wants what it wants, Andrew.
I guess. It's just, I want more, like I said, stuff like Kase-san than I do stuff like Citrus, I guess.
Nah.
It's totally understandable. It's like, you didn't come, like, did you come to this show for angst, or did you come for it for fun?
I guess I came onto this show because I was like, what the hell? I'm curious. And then especially after I saw this cast, I'm like, you know what? I'm really extra curious. And yeah, Amber as May, real good job. And you're right, she does sound sexier.
Oh my god, like, so sexier. I was like, hello. Hello.
You shouldn't be entranced by her because she's not healthy for you.
Oh boy,
okay,
she is not.
Think of the characters that I like.
Oh, okay.
Now think of May.
Okay,
Gigi, who is your favorite character from Amnesia again?
Iki, wasn't it?
The one who puts you in the cage.
And suddenly the conversation makes sense. And suddenly it makes sense.
I like predatory people, like, and this is totally what it is.
I mean,
I think it's an interesting conversation. It's just, I think that's what the discussion comes around for Citrus. Can you get past that or not? Because
there's a lot of things that you guys are not thinking about, and because I'm a girl, I'll tell you some later, but let's keep talking about May and what everybody else thinks of her.
Yeah, we'll save that for final thoughts. As for me, because again, I got notes here, because I think Amber did a pretty good job in this role. I mean, she said herself, she doesn't really play a lot of low-key characters. Like, anytime I hear, like, talking whispers and stuff. I mean, it's not usually dramatic. There is some tension there, but with May, it's kind of different. Like, you can see like there's something going on with her. Like, and she just Amber helps give off that vibe very well. I mean, one of her favorite things about her is that anytime she opens up a little bit, you see that she's kind of processing things. You know, she has emotions and feelings. It's very intense ones, but she doesn't know how to handle them properly. I mean, she starts off very stoic and softens up over time. I really like the direction that Kristen took with Amber on this one. I would love to see more of her in the dub. I mean, only time will tell. That's all I can say.
That is true.
Only time will tell.
Noah.
How do I break this down here? Because, okay, you know, I said at the top of this that I like to go into shows and like find the academic themes in a whole series and like get more out of it than just the pulpy what you went into it to begin with. Well, May feels like a character study, like a psychologically damaged individual who I am enjoying so much discovering what is wrong with her. Because, okay, I'm a person who likes to speak. Obviously, don't make jokes. I mean, when I want to communicate with other people about emotions or stuff like that, I will use words. May is the kind of person who I have the most problems with in real life, because she's a person who only communicates physically. Like, throughout this entire show, she can't express herself with words so much as just going up to a person and kissing them or assaulting them or whatever, like, to get her thoughts across in a non-verbal sense there. So I thought it was going to be really hard for the voice actress to portray those emotions without a whole lot of dialogue. And I was really worried that it was going to be like this low, monotone, not exciting kind of voice, but Amber does much more than that. It's never monotone. There's a lot of, like, she has a little bit of a Midwestern dialect to her that gives more color to her voice. Like, specifically the way that she says her A's. Like, I can't replicate it. But if you go back and listen to any of her lines, whenever she has an A sound in her speaking, it's very different than anything else in the cast, and I don't quite know how to describe it, but I like it. It gives more color to her portrayal. Soft-spoken and forceful, doesn't trail her words, like she emphasizes all of her words in a very regal fashion, and really portrays all of the many problems that May seems to have, and every scene where we figure out, okay, she's damaged by society, by family, by expectations, by gender, by teachers, by everyone down the list who could damage this woman. I'm enjoying watching that. Doesn't excuse the terrible things that she's doing to Yuzu, but it makes it a lot more, as the show described, a school swimming in a sea of raging hormones.
Yeah. And that's the thing about May too, because as you go on through the episodes, like up to episode 6, like when you start to understand a bit more of May's backstory, like her father issues, her pretty much her family issues, the way she expresses herself and all that stuff. You don't understand it at first when you watching from episode 1, but as you go further on and you learn more, you go back and watch those other episodes, and it starts to make sense all of a sudden. It's like, wow, I mean, like I said, she has a hard time expressing her true desire, which is why she did what she did. I mean, I don't condone it, but, you know, at least I understand a little why.
Right. Yeah, we could easily have the discussion about whether or not that makes it okay or not, but I think the key thing to get is that the author wanted to portray a character that has problems, is damaged, and makes us actually sympathize with them more than we hate them. Because I didn't even hate this character in Japanese, but I definitely like her more in English. I
think we'll get a little more into that in final thoughts, but I think we need to move on now to the titular character herself.
Ted.
Yeah,
Is she?
Shut up.
No, is she?
Yeah, the citrus herself, Yuzu.
What is a citrus?
Yuzu is a citrus fruit.
Is that what Yuzu means?
Yeah, it's a fruit. It's kind of like a lemon.
Oh.
Huh.
One of the reasons.
Well,
yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Why did they tell me to begin with?
Because I wanted to see what you would come up with.
I had
Honestly-
20 theories written down here to try to figure out what the hell citrus even meant. It was right there for. If I only spoke
my
Japanese a little bit of Saratoga, all this fucking trouble here researching the backgrounds and the shirt she was wearing and like Yuri means wet lily and holy shit! Damn
Yeah.
this show.
Get
welcome.
get fucked, Professor.
Yeah.
My wife is looking at me now in the "What is wrong with you?" face on.
Okay, so yeah, Yuzu Aihara, she pretty much takes no crap. She lives her very best. She wears her feelings on her sleeve. She's outspoken, daring, and shameless to some extent.
And I love her. She's great.
I love Yuzu.
Oh, she's
Yes.
so good. Like,
Yes.
she is
stupid.
a really good protagonist. I full-heartedly say I really like her a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's so lovably naive.
Yeah.
She's like genuinely like sweet and like she doesn't get all the dumb bullshit that comes with like a private girls' school. It's just like, yo,
You know
I
what?
want to look hot. I don't care.
And
Yuzu is
Yeah.
my spirit animal.
you know, honestly, I'm gonna go to hell for this, but the thing that she reminded me of the most was that she reminded me of Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony in that episode where they were having her first sleepover, and she's like, "I've never had a sleepover before. I want to learn everything."
And somewhere right now, Hardy's about to reach across the internet and strangle you.
I'm
Dear
sure.
Princess Celestia, during my
Yeah.
sleepover, Rainbow Dash decided to kiss me while I was sleeping in my mat. I'm
And-
not
I
sure
think
what the...
somebody wrote that fanfic. Please stop.
Anyway, when it comes to chasing, y'all,
Oh, God.
when it comes to chasing true love, run, Yuzu, run. You can't catch her because she's a lesbian.
I was doing a bit for a thing.
Jamal, I just want to say,
actually reading My Little Pony fanfiction. I was doing a bit.
Jamal,
Oh,
thank you
you're
so
the one
much.
with a goddamn pillow.
Before we continue, I just want to say thank you, Kristen, for those little notes, especially those isms on your Twitter. And I am so sorry for what's happening right now.
We're just in it for the lulz.
Anyway, speaking of being in it, who do you think? Oh God, damn it!
Wow.
Damn you, Andrew!
One of us, we accepted one of us.
Let's move on to predictions.
Alright. I had one prediction for this, and that was based on the fact that Sunshine personality seems to be what they were going for, so I went with the original Sunsetto, Alexis Tipton.
It's understandable.
Oh god, this is funny.
Well, I thought this character reminded me a lot of like the sweeter version of Yamada from B Gotta HK, who is also my spirit animal.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Also,
Okay.
also the lesbian version of Yamada. No, I don't know. But I really thought Brittany Karbowski would do a good job here. My low-hanging fruit pick was Jamie Markey, but then I decided that she wasn't. I didn't want her to go that route. Like, so I liked Brittany Karbowski. I wanted to put her as my sweet little best girl Yuzu.
Alright,
So,
I had 3 choices for Yuzu in my mind. I had, of course, Jamie Markey as a safe one. Alexis Tipton, I was also thinking as a much more free-form, like, cutesy kind of character. And I was also thinking something kind of interesting, kind of different. I really liked her character and the way they sounded in New Game, and I thought, how would they sound as a leading lady in an actual Yuri show? And I thought, let's give Megan Shipman a shot.
There's no Yuri in New Game. What are you talking about?
Rin and
I'm
Co.
a gay.
I made peace with that, but I'm still slightly ticked.
New game. Come for the video games, stay for the lesbians.
As for me,
you stay for Hifumi, that's what you stay for.
good God. As for me, I had again from May's my predictions for May. I had Brynn and Elizabeth, but I think for this one I'm just gonna stick with Brynn because I think she would sound more believable as a gal. As much as I did not want to go to Monica and Jamie route, I did have Jamie Markey on my list.
It's okay. It's okay to default to Jamie.
I'm laughing at...
I did not want that to happen.
I'm laughing at something else. I'm laughing at the fact that my roommate straight up thought I was reading, like, My Little Pony fanfiction. It didn't quite hit me, but that's actually what happened.
I'd like to read my fanfiction called Andrew's Masculinity, Fact or Fiction.
Oh,
We
fuck.
read the fan fiction in the Haikyuu episode, guys. You gotta come up with a new
Okay,
bit.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at the fact that just happened. I'm done. I'm sorry.
I'll be honest. I did have like a plethora of actresses, but I think these three are good, and I had Genie Toronto as my last pick because look at the character and decides like you want someone down to earth. And doesn't have to go overboard, if anything.
Okay. Well,
as for who's actually played her, playing Yuzu is, of course, Megan Shipman.
Of course.
Oh, wow, yeah. Cool. Let's talk about what Megan Shipman has done in the past now, shall we?
Yes, she is Sakura Defrag, Chisato in the Disastrous Life of Psyche K, another Chisato is Sugimomo. She is, of course, Hanamaru from Love Life Sunshine. As Andrew mentioned, she's Alba Suzukaze from New Game, Nene Nakorobi from Pandora and the Crimson Shell, and young Tanukichi from Shimonetta.
Oh boy.
Andrew, since you got this right, I suggest you go first.
Okay. I thought she sounds adorable, preppy, and like she's having the time of her life being the cute little Garu bi-curious gal ready to stick it to the man by subscribing to the women instead. God bless Megan Shipman. She's so good as Yuzu. I love her. And I'd like to say that my favorite delivery in this entire dub is the part where she's imagining, oh hey, we're now related to somebody who's really wealthy, to which she's just like, sweet, I always wanted to be filthy rich. I love the delivery on that. I'm gonna keep it short and simple, but Megan as Yuzu, mwah. Good stuff. She brings this character to life. I believe everything about her struggles. I believe everything about her desire to want to have fun, her emotional conflict, dealing with trying to be a sister and a lover, which is another weird thing about this show, but no, she's great. I really, really liked her, and she fits in like a glove. She's very enjoyable. I believe she is just Yuzu, and god damn it, one of the best things about Twitter is realizing that ADR director Kristen McGuire can just share all of her little Meganisms when she's recording in the booth. I'm going to check it out now to find some of my favorites. Let's keep going because I can find a couple of these.
Yeah, one of which I pointed out in the intro.
The latest ones that came out while we were recording, Kristen, awesome, that was delightfully awkward. Megan, yes, I was acting. I'm not awkward in real life. And another one that just came out, oh no, the tapioca is back. I don't even know what that means. I hope not to know what that means, but I will soon enough. Let's continue.
Yeah, like you, I believed every ounce of her struggle, from the moment she's just being fussy in Harumi's bedroom to the the incest feeling she started to develop to like, especially the scene in the manga cafe, because I'm like, yeah. I think at some point it didn't sound like it was her acting anymore. Like, I wanted to say like she's not playing Yuzu, she is Yuzu, but that comment would not go over so well. In any case, like, Megan is very sincere with the actor. Like I said earlier, Kristen knows how to play with the actor's strengths, and Megan was the strongest one I felt really captured Yuzu in the moment. Like, even when you see her, Yuzu, like, slapping some sense into her, I could buy it. Like, I could believe, like, she really stepped into the role. And you're just sitting there enjoying every minute of it. So much so that I'm willing to bet if you look at her headshot right now, she looks kind of like Yuzu as well.
No, see, that's the thing about voice acting, is that eventually you just start morphing into the characters that you're voicing.
Oh no, I just think this was purely coincidental, because I remember watching her on Unlocked. She said she was going to watch this show anyway, and when she auditioned for it, like, she knew right off the bat she was going to be Yuzu, no doubt about that. And she really kind of liked the aspect of her teenage years, because Yuzu looks to be a bit of a sheltered kid, let's be honest. Like, that's why she is the way she is now, you know? I mean, when you're an only child, what can you do?
I don't even know if I'd say she's sheltered, because we understand...
Well, she did.
Well, okay, but Yuzu is the kind of person who has read all the magazines, has absorbed all of the culture of dating, but has never actually, like, been a part of it herself. So she's still learning all of this, which is really interesting to watch, because the entire naivety of her doesn't come off as someone who is just brain dead on the inside. It legitimately feels like someone who has never gone through the emotions, gone through the highs and lows before, and so doesn't understand that, no, loving your sister in that way is not actually normal.
Well, she doesn't know what she's doing, and that's like
exactly
one of the best parts about Yuzu is that, you know, in the beginning, like in the first couple of minutes, she's sitting there talking to her friends from home, and then in the next scene she's like, oops, I lied, guess what, I've never had a boyfriend before, and I've never been in love, and they don't really know that, but I've been screwing with their heads the whole time. And then, like, as the anime progresses a little bit, she doesn't know what's going on with Mei, but then she's playing the same game that Mei's playing with her, because she doesn't know what to do, and she's just reciprocating in the only way that she knows how. So, I mean, she is innocent and everything, but I don't think that she's completely, like, doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah, Megan said that herself as well. Like, you know, I mean, when you're in high school, like, you know, you're not given all the answers. You gotta learn stuff on your own. You gotta experiment. Granted, this is not the way. This is not the way to experiment. But
what high school did you go to?
A public one.
Oh, I went to Catholic high school. No one is surprised.
Anyway, the
point is that Megan's portrayal of this is different than I thought it was going to be going into this, because I thought that they were going to give her the gal stereotype. I thought they were going to give her the, and then, oh my gosh, we went shopping, and hey, it's second place. I'm going to make out with my sister.
I can see why you'd think that, because all I know is the Japanese voice of her is also the voice of Hotaru from Dagashi Kashi. So, going off of that, yeah.
I would never call her a gal exactly in that show. But
no, but she could be like pretty high up there at times. So I'm glad like Megan was able to bring her back down to earth. You know?
And I really like that they get. She's got almost an East Coast accent. Like, I don't know if I haven't been to the East Coast in a while, but I got more of a sense of less of a Midwestern voice like a lot of the Texas actors have, and more of like someone from, you know, like the New York State kind of voice to her. And I'm really glad that they didn't give her that gal voice, because it made it more believable, and it also conveyed the idea that she isn't someone who's like so immersed in gal culture that she already talks like that. It's like she's enthralled by it, but she's still just trying it out. Like, that opening scene, like, the very first thing we see of her is putting on the full outfit for school, and we see in loving detail the makeup, the eyelashes, the clothes, all of that kind of is supposed to shape the expectation going into it. But, and I'm going to say this is the most positive thing about Megan, is that she sounds really, really good in all of the range of emotions that she has. The show is so full of how I feel moments, a lot of inner monologuing about her confusion, her mixed emotions, her gradual realization that she actually has an affection for May. All of that isn't so boring to listen to like a lot of inner monologue can be. I love the flavor that she gives Yuzu's character throughout the whole thing. And I like that in the writing, they give her very basic vocabulary. She doesn't use any fancy words, because she's not exactly a fancy girl. She, like, when she talks about how she wants to be rich, it's very vernacular. It's all very down to earth, as you put it. So, yeah, she runs the gambit between perky to scared, but it's all still the same character. Just every bit of her is a believable portrayal of a high schooler going through her first story of love, which I think what the show is that it's a story of first love in a really screwed up world.
I love you. I love Yuzu. I love Yuzu.
I do too.
She loves you
I love
too.
Megan. I love Megan playing Yuzu. She's so cute. No, but for real though, she did like a phenomenal job. Like I said before, I didn't want to pick the low-hanging fruit and predict Jamie Marchi for this for the exact reasons that Noah just said. I just think that she gets this rebellious side down. She gets the innocent side down. She also gets the manipulative side down. But I feel that there's so many facets to this character, and Megan Shipman plays them all to a T, like to the point where we don't know how Yuzu's gonna react to something next, which is perfect because she doesn't know either. So I want to watch more stuff with Megan Shipman in it because I don't feel like I've seen anything with her in it, basically. But Yuzu has convinced me to track down some more of her stuff. And Yuzu is best girl. Yuzu is like my spirit animal. I friggin' love Yuzu. And she's perfect. I'm done now. Mic drop.
Oh yeah, when she drops the mic and straight up like, yo, that teacher's a creeper and a gold digger. Get his pedo ass the hell out of here. Mic drop. Have a good day. Love your faces.
Now, did anyone else think it was... Did anyone think it was slightly hypocritical that she's calling out the gold-digging teacher in the same episode where she herself said that she wants to be rich from the new family she's got?
I think it's a difference from being like, oh, I actually want this status, to it's like, oh, it'd be cool with this stat. Oh, this would be kind of neat, to straight up actually influence it. Literally, it's like the difference being, oh, it'd be cool to have money, to this dude is literally impacting others' lives and emotions just to get that money. And she's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You creepy.
Yes, that is wrong. That is all kinds of wrong. I'm just saying that struck out to me as a little hypocritical.
Fair point. But Yuzu's great and I love her.
Don't you try to muscle in on this family and take their money. Let me muscle in on this family and try and take their money.
Oh, jeez.
But no, she's not that kind of girl.
Oh, boy. No. This one's a long one. What else is there left to say? In final thoughts.
I'll go first on this one. My thoughts are pretty short on this one, actually, because I think we covered everything really in this. Like, I tried to space out my theories about the show throughout this whole episode, and it's better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not usually someone who goes for melodrama all the time. Like, I like it in spurts, but I don't expect a lot of depth out of it. And I got a lot more depth from not just the content, but the acting in this. Everyone has distinct voices. Like, no two characters sound exactly alike, which is one thing I really hate in the show, when they all sound the same. So I'm very glad that Kristen cast lots of different kinds of accents and voices, subtle enough to fill out the whole cast. I'm looking forward to watching more of this. Like, this show that I will absolutely continue watching. Some shows like Orange that we've covered, I didn't follow through all the way through, but this is one that I am locked into. good job on Funimation's casting. You guys did really good on this. Keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to seeing how Matsuri is going to break everyone's brains.
Alright, I guess I'll go next, just because I genuinely did not think I was going to be that interested in Citrus, in that I watched 2 episodes subbed. It's like I got the gist of it. It was much more hardcore melodrama with very dubious elements than it was what I think I would have liked out of my Yuri stuff, but I definitely found a much newer appreciation with it in English. Absolutely. The cast is phenomenal. The people in charge of this product are phenomenal. And I think they really bring a lot of heart to this show that I myself didn't originally find. I think there's a lot of fun characters in this show, but it's far more of a hardcore soap opera melodrama than I think I personally myself care for. But there's good characters and interesting ideas in that. It just feels odd to me in regards to contrasting certain ideas and all that, but I think the dub's great, and it definitely made me enjoy the show a lot more than I think I would have in the Japanese. So good on you, everybody involved.
It's very interesting that everyone keeps saying that they like it more in English than it made them like the show more.
Well, it's true. Like, I think that there's a lot more heart put into the English version of this because of the themes that it has, because this is a very niche show to start off with. First of all, it's Yuri, and to put a straight up Yuri show on a simuldub on Funimation, other than what, Yuri Kumarashi, I can't, and that was a weird Ikuhara show. Like, I can't off the top of my head think of one that is a straight up Yuri show that's been simuldubbed by Funimation. If anybody else can think of one, please correct me in the comments or whatever. But I mean, that's controversial in itself. Another controversial point is the way that some people seem to be reacting to the themes and to the actions the characters have in this show. A lot of people are saying, you know, I don't think that this is right, what's going on, the way these characters are expressing their feelings in their relationships. I have watched a lot of soap operas. I'm a CW junkie, and I'm not going to deny it. And I will tell you that most, if not all, of the stuff that's been happening in this anime with a bunch of girls has happened in soap operas or high school dramas or whatever you want to say it, with a girl and a guy, and like the backlash just doesn't seem to be there with those. But I feel that for some reason it's here, and that makes me very sad, because I feel that because of some of the themes and the actions that the characters are doing, that people won't watch the show because of it. And I don't think that maybe in the Japanese it's more portrayed that way, because I mean, Noah, you've watched Ai no Kusabi with me.
Yeah,
some of the exact same themes in Ai no Kusabi are here in Citrus.
I mean, love is complicated, but let's not blur the lines between consent, I guess, when it comes to...
I mean, but they're doing it here. Everybody's doing it here too. And yeah. Like, I just... Where are you going to blur it? Where is it, you know... Whatever it is whatever it is, for whatever your preferences and your feelings and stuff are. But right. I feel that in the English adaptation, it's doing much more of a job to explain why Mei is acting so predatory, why Yuzu is acting more in a predatory fashion back to Mei in some points, because she doesn't know what's going on. I feel that it's being explained more here, and therefore has a completely different tone than the Japanese one does. Now, yeah, they're both melodramatic soap operas. They're both shoujo trashy stuff that I love, but at the same time, I'd much rather watch it in English for the writing and the direction, let alone the cool voices that are in it, because it's doing a better job to explain the thought process behind the characters' actions.
The way you could justify it is, and I know this is a dirty word in some circles, but it does not feel like an exploitation. Like, it feels like an exploration, but not an exploitation of the content. Like, you're gonna get out of it the smutty actions that you wanted to, and part of that may just be attributed to the fact that the show is better animated than it probably deserved to be, so things like that are animated in more loving detail than we expect. But it feels also like the characters are exploring these ideas, and we're going along for the ride with them.
Right, and I feel you get more of a sense of that in the English version, which, to those who have watched the Japanese and subtitled and were like, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole, I implore you to at least watch the first couple episodes of this in English and see if maybe it'll change your mind a little bit. I don't know. I really think it's excellent, and I really think that as of right now, this is my top dub of the year, and I honestly can't think of a new show that's going to come out that's going to change my mind about it. So I hold really high standards, and I don't watch a lot of shows that don't have a ton of boys in them, but I really like the way that this one is being directed and acted and written. So I think it's a kudos to everyone involved, and you guys you're doing the Lord's work. You're doing the Lord's work. It's good.
I mean, wow. That's high praise indeed. Don't watch most shows without a lot of boys in it, but this one did it for you. Funimation, put that on the box. Quote Anime Palooza.
Really? I want a box quote.
Gigi, don't ever sell yourself short about how you only watch certain things. You're definitely going into much more dynamic boundaries and genres, and I'm proud of you for it.
Well, this is the only simuldub I'm watching this season, and it will continue to be the only one I'm watching because I won't watch Citrus and subtitles anymore. I'm only going to watch it dubbed. So
that's fair.
I just feel there are a lot of themes in this show that are getting very misconstrued, and and as a girl, I'm like, okay, well, if somebody's gonna push me up against a wall and make out with me, yeah, maybe it's not what I wanted. But then you think back to it, and Yuzu, she's like, well, maybe that is what I want. You don't really know, and it's just a lot of conflicting emotions. I'm not
hormones.
I'm not condoning any character's actions, and I'm not, shaming anyone's actions. I'm just saying that this stuff happens in a lot of media, and I feel that this is getting kind of blacklisted, I guess, when it's happening in a whole bunch of other things. So I don't think everybody should make a big deal about it. That's just my thing with Citrus.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, when I first watched the PV for this, I thought to myself, this doesn't seem like your typical Yuri kind of anime. What is this more to it? So when the sub first came out, I started watching it. I was kind of shocked. I mean, yeah, I understand what was going on, but it's not like I was upset or anything. It's like, why is this happening the way it's happening? I thought to myself, give it some time, just watch more, maybe it'll start to make sense. And I realized, I mean, in some ways, love knows no boundaries, but in other ways, that does not mean I condone the actions that go on in this show. I mean, everybody expresses love differently, just some that don't always do it. Some don't always do it right. And that's the kind of negative connotation this show gives off, but I think there are people out there jumping to conclusions on this, because I know that there are some people out there who've been waiting for this show for a long while. Like our friend and fan Army, she's been waiting for this show for a couple of years, and she really likes the manga to the point I really wanted to pick her brain about this show before I jumped on to host it. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to, but at least now I'm starting to get a sense of understanding for the characters, for the series in general. This is a claim I don't really make often. I'm actually thinking about looking to get the manga myself, because I really want to know more about what happens in this show. And yeah, I know a lot of people turned off the incest. I mean, yeah, so what? I watched Brothers Conflict. You think that phases me?
They're not really sisters. They're not really sisters.
Exactly. Thank you.
Technically,
think about it. Think about it this way.
Conflict, they're not really brothers and sister either.
That's
Just
right.
Exactly. So
just don't tell me about how you want to be my big sister if you're like putting a tongue in my ear or something. Just there's a time and a place, not when you're in the bedroom.
Oh,
Exactly.
Nichan. Shh.
think of it this way. If the parents get divorced, are they still sisters?
Yes.
No.
You can't divorce a sibling.
But they weren't really sisters to begin with.
Boy, we are going into some ethical stuff that is going into over my head.
In any case, the point I'm trying to make is, pretty much don't judge a book by its cover. Just wait it out. Give it 3 episodes, and then if you don't like it, alright, fine, you don't like it, but that's your choice.
I mean,
all I'm saying is just don't jump to conclusions just because there's 2 girls love each other and they happen to be stepsisters. Okay, there's more to it than that. It's not like a show like That's So Trap or other shows that will remain nameless. Because let's face it, the shows that try to employ those concepts really kind of suck, to be honest.
Well, we're just watch Kase-san. That's my recommendation. just read Kase-san.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you take away about my opinions is I want you to read Kase-san.
Yeah, just make a judgment for yourself. Don't be one of those people who slander this kind of show, because a lot of people really like the show, and so do I.
And that's
opinions of media are subjective, and everybody thinks differently.
well, the thing.
Exactly.
If I could just end on one last thing, like you said, Jamal, a lot of people are liking this, and one thing that Megan talked to us a bit about when we saw her at A-Fest was that some people, every show that comes out is going to be at least one person's favorite, and the high praise I can give to Kristen, Caitlin, and the entire team is that they treat this with the respect that it does not disrespect anyone who picks this as their #1 show. If you can take a show with the line, "We're sisters now, it shouldn't be weird to take a bath together," and have it played straight and emotionally sincere, that is a high skill set to
Let me correct you there. It wasn't played straight.
You bastard!
Okay,
You
to
fucking
wrap this up, a show that deals with themes like these, I hope it opens other avenues for Funimation to dub shows like these.
Hopefully we get some more made like that. Like Kase-san.
Yeah.
And Kase-san. I wish it wasn't pony.
Pretty much
Funimation, when you gonna
shows.
dub BL?
Exactly my point, what I mean? If they can dub a Yuri show like this with little to no fan service, you can dub a boys love show pretty much in the same respect. But we should really wrap
We are
this
out of
up.
time. They're kicking us out of the booth. We should wrap this up.
Yeah, so if you are interested in seeing the dub for Citrus, episodes are currently available on the Funimation Now service, which is at 6 at the time of this recording. First 2 episodes are available for free, but the rest are behind the subscriber paywall, which if you're interested in subscribing, they do have a 14-day free trial. You can use to watch your simuldubs and home video releases. But fair warning, if you don't like the service or don't want to continue after the 14 days, cancel as soon as possible since a credit card is required and they will stop pulling money from your account. As for the show itself, the sub can be found on Crunchyroll as part of the Funnyroll partnership. You can watch with or without a subscription. Just know without a subscription there will be ads and the latest episode will be a week behind the subscriber paywall. In addition, if you want to check out the behind the scenes content, which is called Kristen Citrus Dub Actor Focus, or I like to call Citrus Extra Pulp, you can check it out at Chris Comics on the Anime Unlocked app. Just a side note, it's currently available on iOS only.
Give us an Android app and I'll act... Seriously, straight up. Give us an Android app soon. We could work out some sponsor stuff. I'm down for that.
And there's no playlist function. You have to swipe to cycle through videos. But if you're interested in seeing any of us and the crazy shit we get up to online, go ahead and plug yourselves.
My name is Andrew, otherwise known as Classy Spartan, otherwise known as @MangaMan9000 on Twitter. You can see me over on Podcast O&A at Surreal Resolution, where I talk more general anime news and all that jazz. I am also a moderator for the Funimation Discord server and the Funimation forums. Also, I do this with you guys.
Yeah.
My name is Gigi. You can follow me on YouTube and Twitter at AnimePalooza, where I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays about cool merchandise stuff that I buy and Udapri Shining Live, and I mostly talk about boys, which I barely did in this podcast, so yay me.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, boo.
Love you too.
Love your face.
If you're interested in anything that I, no clue, am doing, encourage me to do something with my YouTube channel, which is Journey Traveler. I've been scheming stuff for a while, but full-time job and full-time parent husbandhood takes a lot of my time. But I always try to find time to post on Twitter, which is @NoahClue, ranting about the world of animation, about how the best movies did not ever win the Oscars. Can we just talk about the bullshit best animated feature categories every year?
Let's save that for another day, though.
I want to rant! I want to rant!
We've ranted long
Down, boy.
enough.
Down.
Secret of Kells was robbed in 2009. I know Up was a good movie, but it wasn't that good.
Alright, I'm about to go Old Yeller on your fucking ass right now if you don't shut your butt.
As for me... Shut you two. As for...
Did you just fucking fart?
God damn.
Please, sir, may I have another?
Oh my god. As for me, I'm an assistant editor for this channel. I can be found on my other channel, Jabstar1. I can also be found on Twitter, Jabstar529. I have a blog that's offline at the moment. As for the podcast itself, we can be found here on YouTube under the name Dubtop Podcast. We're also found on Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and now Twitch by the same name. So, yeah. Any final words before we sign off?
I spent 3 hours talking about this. I want to go to bed, and go to bed in my own bed, and not just put this girl who I've never met before in a, like, queen-size bed and just be like, oh, you'll get along, right?
Can I come?
That was the part that I loved the most, like the little, aw, now you guys can share you don't have to use a futon, you can sleep in the same bed together. Aren't I the best mother ever?
She's so
Awkward.
sincere and loving about it, she just doesn't get that, like, her kids are horny on Maine.
Wow.
I'm so glad that phrase
Takes
has
one to know
entered the
one.
lexicon now.
I gotta go to bed.
Uh,
In my own bed.
Okay,
no one else.
Yeah.
I have
So,
a hot
from
girl in bed
office
with
here-
me.
It's 'cause
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
married.
yeah.
rub it in our face, whatever.
Rub it in, rub it in.
Alright, I've had enough rubbing for one night, okay?
Horny?
So, from all of us here at Dub Talk, we wish you a good night. And Otaku on.
Otaku
Aloha.
on, and do not
Love your
actually put your
faces.
sister to the test, okay?
Don't
Fix.
If
Keep
you
it
think
gay.
incest is best, put your sister to the test.
God.
Yay, citrus.
Oh my god.
I knew
That's how
somebody
we
was
end
gonna
this.
say it. Good night.
That's what we do. That's how you end.
Good
every
night.
episode.
Good night, everybody. Keep it gay.
Every day. Keep it gay. Every day. Any way that I say. And at night or any day. I should probably... How many words rhyme with gay?
探せ